what's up, everyone, and welcome back to Resident Roleplay. This is a show where a group of friends and I get together and play homebrewed tabletop RPG set in the world of Resident Evil. I'm your host and GM, Raphael, and welcome back, everybody.
Yo.
Hey. So, oh, hey, looks like Lisa just got back, too.
Oh, yes.
Because we were delaying a bit because Lisa had to restart her computer and was promptly having to go through some update downloads. But thankfully, it looks like she's gotten back just in time. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. A bit longer than we would have liked because we were all sick last week. But alas, we're back. And it's good to be back. I'm particularly excited about getting back into the campaign. I don't know about you guys. But also, should point out, how about that new intro?
Yeah.
Real nice.
Yeah, I know. It was awesome. We're particularly proud of that one. That has to be some of the highest production value we've put into anything, really. But yeah, so I guess to run through credits really quick for that new intro. Obviously, 3D, all animated by Lauren, and as well as like the title cards and stuff.
Yeah.
As well as Ilo this time around, our very own Ilosmic, who some of you may know as the one who plays Nuria on the show. She did all of the artwork this time around instead of splitting the responsibilities with Lauren. And I thought it turned out pretty well. All the characters are looking pretty neat for this story arc, and she made like a sort of universal art style that she's kind of been doing for all the artwork she's been doing for the show. So yeah, that's super cool. Ilosmic did all of the art for that. All the character art, at least. So, yeah, that's the new intro. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Which, by the way, Lauren, I'm not sure if you noticed, but, you know, because we were previewing it before.
Yes, I did notice.
And there was, like, a little bit of
I was looking for it.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a blemish. And we were like, that's all right, we'll just keep it. And we ate dinner, and I came back, and I was like, you know what, we're not getting paid to just, like, do half measures here. In fact, we're not getting paid at all. So I'm gonna so I went ahead and put in the extra effort of re-rendering it with the affix applied.
Yeah,
because I conceived of a way to fix it up, but nobody knows what that blemish would have been. But I'm glad that we ran it live the first time around without it. So yeah. And of course, that intro will probably be uploaded standalone. I also realized that we hadn't uploaded the intro of the previous intro, the second intro for the third story arc. We hadn't uploaded that standalone, so we'll probably do that as well, so that those could be up on YouTube. So yeah, that being said, new story arc coming up, new opportunities, and with that, new NPC playlist, musical playlist is also coming out. As well as with a new poster, kind of like how I did with Aiden a while back. And of course, some of you may have heard the player character playlists, which were released a while back. And those were all really awesome. And yeah, I really enjoy working on them. So I'm working on, I've been working on a handful of playlists for NPCs, and I'm figuring release them maybe about once every story arc. So new story arc coming up, or now in progress, look forward to seeing another NPC playlist within this next week. Anyway, last thing I wanted to announce, though, is that we're going to be doing something a little bit different on the stream starting tonight, which is we're going to be immediately after Resident Roleplay, like within an hour or so, we're going to try running reruns of all the streams from this past week and just have them all going from tonight into tomorrow. So that is going to be something that is going to be done. If you guys missed any of the streams from this past week, it might be a good way to see them again, if people are in different time zones. I know it's really difficult to catch some of our streams for people on the other side of the world. But anyway, so we figured we might start making this a tradition. Hopefully it works, if we could get it working tonight. But I'm pretty sure it's pretty straightforward. And
it should just be point and click.
Yeah, it should be just point and click, but you can never be sure of anything when it comes to Twitch.
This is true.
But yeah, with that being said, I think that is everything. Are we ready to get into the roleplay?
Yeah, I'm
ready.
I'm hella nervous, actually. I need to get my notes open.
I hope you all are ready. Well, so previously on Resident Roleplay, Through a series of minor outbreaks, R.K.A. reconvened with her long-lost father, Aiden, who was seeking vengeance against a number of former Umbrella employees who had wronged him. As the years went on, R.K.A. grew quickly into a young woman. Umbrella fell, bioweapons took to the black market, and the TeknoAXE panic came to pass. After all this, the bioweapons branch of the Feliciano crime family, who you've had some encounters with, their bioweapons branch known as the Manifold, split off from the main syndicate. The Manifold then stole G-Virus samples from a Will Pharma convoy, which is a pharmaceutical company that's kind of been up and coming. And then, after that, you and your party, or the entire party, was hired by Will Pharma to take the G-Virus back and retaliate against the Manifold. And in this pursuit, you discovered the whereabouts of one Raphael Simmons, an ex-Umbrella researcher, as well as R.K.A.'s former father figure and a prominent target on Aiden's hit list. Entering into Simmons' facility alongside Aiden, you navigated your way through elaborate traps and puzzles until finally reaching Simmons at the bottommost level. There, Simmons explained how he had been a prisoner, forced to work on bioweapons against his will, and how he was also forced to fake his death in front of R.K.A. back when she last saw him in Raccoon City. After hearing him out, R.K.A. ultimately followed her father's will and slit Simmons' throat. However, before he died, Simmons infected himself with the G-Virus and mutated into the monstrous form of G. Detecting an outbreak, the facility's self-destruct system activated. And then G. Simmons chased all of you out of the facility, mutating through various forms as the entire structure collapsed around you. You barely escaped as the final explosions leveled the building. But at the surface, you found that G escaped as well. However, with aid from Aiden's rocket launcher, you were able to finish the creature off for good. You had also learned that this facility was left as bait to lure Aiden, and that the Manifold's leader, Elliot Walker, was on his way to handle things himself. Being another target on Aiden's list, but one that he knows to be extremely dangerous, Aiden insisted that the rest of you leave and live to fight another day. Seemingly not expecting to get out alive, Aiden left R.K.A. with a relic from her mother Yuko, a push dagger that she had favored. And then your party of survivors drove off, leaving Aiden behind to face his maker alone. And you heard a series of gunshots echo in the distance, and then silence. So, 6 months have passed since that incident. The world has changed during those 6 months. For one, in the middle of that period, the Queen Zenobia incident took place, in which the FBC director Morgan Lansdale was discovered as the mastermind behind a criminal conspiracy to orchestrate the TeknoAXE panic and cover up the FBC's involvement. As a result of an investigation from anti-bioterror legends Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine, all this evidence came to light, and the FBC was dismantled, and the remaining staff given the option to transfer to equivalent positions in the BSAA. However, as part of his hand in the investigation and the tactics that had to be used in order to bring this information to light, the BSAA's director, Clive R. O'Brien, had to resign. But with that being said, Emil and many others were out of a job, and given the option, Emil decided not to take up a position with the BSAA, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, over the course of those 6 months, really quick recaps. What have your characters been up to?
Whoever wants to go first. Start with.
Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
All right, I guess I'll go.
All right.
So throughout the break, I guess before the FBC went down, I started setting things in motion to start to start my company proper. To do so, though, I had to give my pair of detectives an ultimatum whether they wanted to continue with me because I was going to be doing some shady shit. And I gave them the ultimatums, like, you're gonna be with me. Like, if you continue to go with me down this path, you're with me for, forever. You can. I'm giving you the option to leave now. And they both said, ha, nope, and left. And
that's pretty much
as soon as they were gone, like, well, I gotta start getting this going somehow. So I ended up having to acquire a couple of lawyers who worked during the Raccoon trials, and with their help, I bought the old construction company that Emil used to work for, 10K construction company, and acquired all the business licenses I needed to as well to start my company. We've pretty much been doing that ever since. Emil's been doing that ever since, just starting to build the company. He's done some research. His facility isn't up and running, but he's already started production on some products. By the end of the 6 months, he has some products that are out. Also, Joan Waters, his field medic that was in the FBC, and 2 other field medics that were part of his team came with him over into the new company.
That's right. Anything else you were up to? There were some...
Was there?
Well, there were some scenes we were going to play out during this time.
Right. I didn't know if you want me to do that afterwards.
Yeah, we'll do this now during the recaps.
Okay, yeah. So I go to the Felicianos immediately after. This would happen first. I guess we started the break in February. In August, I believe.
No, August is when we were coming back.
No, yeah,
April.
April, the other A month, is the Greenhouse Survivors anniversary, and I've got to make some more ultimatums.
Yeah. So this was the reunion of your old army buddies who had all survived Operation Greenhouse. And
to various degrees.
One of your members is no longer with you. Yeah, Jack Carmine died in the first story arc. But Scott Moeller and Eddie Lopez both, gather around for the reunion. This time over at I suppose a lot of you kind of rotate between who goes where, whose place you all gather at for this reunion. This time around, you guys are gathering at Scott's place in Chicago. And
nice.
Yeah.
I guess for the majority of it, it's just going to be the usual banter between us, just like, hey, how's it going? I'm starting a company now. I'm going, becoming a CEO. It's very strange.
I can't say I expected that out of you, Emil. That's Scott.
Well, you got to get work done, and I have big plans.
Well, sounds like your reach is quite extended now.
This would be happening near the end of the reunion. Like, for the most part, it's just standard, drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, as we're starting to head out, I would be doing this. So I don't know if, or what's his name?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie is still going to be around. I'd prefer, because this is Emil considers, or is considering the possibility that this might be a confrontation. So he would wait until Eddie wasn't around, so he doesn't have to see a fight between his friends.
Okay, so do you full on wait for Eddie to leave, or?
Yeah, well, like as we're leaving, it's just like, oh, hey, Scott, I need to talk to you actually as well about about my company.
Oh, for sure. What's this about, Emil? Eddie's kind of like getting his jacket on and like getting ready to head out the door.
Yeah, it's like this is private. It was good seeing you, Eddie. Well, I'll keep in touch with you.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll see you guys later. Whatever you need to talk about. Have a good one, Emil. See you, Scott. And he heads out.
So, Scott.
Emil.
I want you to be the head of security for my company.
That's quite an offer.
It is.
Well, you do know I have quite a lot of expertise in that area, so I understand why you're coming to me, but I'm afraid my prospects look quite good right now. It would take a lot to take me out of it.
What do you have going for you right now?
Just some other security work. Pretty big company.
Who are you working for?
It's some automobile manufacturer. You've probably never heard of them.
Yeah, I probably haven't. Have I heard of them?
He hasn't given you a name.
Oh, right. Well, because I'm trying to remember what would what's his name? Steve in not accounting. Steve in HR.
Yeah, Steve from HR.
What was the when I was back in the FBC? What did he say? Scott used to work.
He said he worked. There's something if he came up in his background check where he was working for a company that was known to be a shell company that for Umbrella that former USS operatives would use to make it look like they weren't affiliated with Umbrella on their resumes. Yeah.
Was that a automotive company, or did I probably wouldn't have known?
Yeah, it was just like a generic sort of manufacturing company.
Okay. Oh yeah, you've wait. Did you say you was doing security for that company?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been doing security, so you've been keeping yourself busy then.
Yeah, considerably.
Making a lot of money.
Fair amount.
I don't want to offer him too much money.
What's this really about, Emil?
Well, I would really want you to be a part of my team because I think you have connections that I don't.
And he kind of gives you a sideways glance. He's like, and what sort of connections might you be having in mind?
When I put your name in to the FBC, some stuff came up in your background check. Do I know the name of the company he used to work for? I'll just say
you would know it.
Company name. It's just like, it's like a well-known umbrella shell company. Apparently, you were hired through them, or you were working with them.
All right. He kind of shuffles a little bit. Well, perhaps I might as well come clean now, if this is what you're here to talk about.
This is. That's why I didn't want Eddie to be around.
Well, that's the thing, you see, Eddie already knew.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I used to work with Umbrella.
Except for how long?
About, kind of adds up the numbers on his fingers. 7 years.
What year is it right now? 05?
Yeah, 05. It's currently 05.
So since 98. Oh, so since...
No, because they closed down in 2003.
Oh, so that would be since...
Yeah, he would point out to you, he's like, I've been with Umbrella since 1994.
1994.
I first enlisted with their mercenary company, the UBCS. But later, after doing a lot of service for them, they transferred me over to their private security service, the USS.
Are you still working with them?
Of course not. Umbrellas, and they don't exist anymore.
I know. But do you still work for them?
You're a sharp one, Emil. No, I do not work for Umbrella anymore.
But you know people who have. The kind of people who know how to keep secrets, and the kind of people who know how to get the job done.
I do have those kinds of contacts, yes.
And that's why I want you on my team. What is your opinion of Umbrella?
Well, they're a high-paying employee with...
Employer?
Employer. Yeah, they're a high-paying employer with high-stakes jobs. Their needs were great, and I was able to fill it.
So you don't care too much for their moral ambiguity?
Oh, well, it's certainly something that has to be considered when going into business with a company like theirs. But, well, you know I was willing to work for them, seeing as I work for them at all. I'm a bit confused as to what you will be doing in your company, seeing as you don't seem to have a problem with the fact that I was with them.
No, and in fact, I have the exact opposite of a problem. That makes you very valuable with the things that I'm going to be going into in the future. The company that I'm making, well, let's just say Umbrella opened up Pandora's box. Now that box is open, people like me are able to use what came out.
Yeah, I thought you were the idealist among us.
I am. I don't ever plan on hurting anyone.
Well, that was the precise reason I was, I suppose, afraid of telling you. I told the others a long time ago. In fact, I even reached out to them with the jobs. But, never brought it up to you. Figured you wouldn't approve of considering our history with that company.
Oh, I absolutely would not have. I might have gone after you directly, actually.
All right.
See, back in those days, I was just looking for something to do. I needed a purpose. Had you come with that, that would have been my purpose for a little bit. But Jack Carmine happened before you came to me, so Jack Carmine became my purpose. And now, there's no turning back.
And you see, got kind of shuffle. Why don't you go ahead and make a persuasion check?
All right. Question: Do I have a new feature? Do I have to call that out before?
I would say typically you would have to, but if you would like to call it out for this, I will allow you to.
So, like, okay.
Yeah, typically you would have to do that preemptively.
Okay. So,
kind of like how I would do with like manipulation when I was playing as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can for this I can roll first and then see if I need to add.
I'll say, well, you could just add it from when you first roll. Yeah. Yeah. So what are you using? If you want to explain to everybody.
What roll?
A persuasion.
What roll? Persuasion. Okay. So I'm going to hold on. What is the exact wording for this? I love it. I'm going to channel Big Pharma.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to channel the corporate overlord and persuade him.
Yeah. So that allows you to add your intelligence modifier to a charisma roll. So your usual bonus plus your intelligence modifier on top of that.
Yep. What is that? 18.
18's pretty good. You see Scott kind of ease up a bit. You know, a certain like tension relieving from his shoulders. And he's just like, you know, there was another reason for a good long while why I kept this from you. especially after all these years now that it's way in the past. You see, Jack Carmine came to the Umbrella Corporation at my request, my invitation. I can't help but feel partially responsible for what happened to him.
Did you know what they were going to do?
No. I'll help you, Emil. But, like I said, I've got good prospects right now, and I don't see myself leaving the job that I'm currently working. I can dig up some of those old contacts. Back when I worked for the USS, they had me write a report on the sort of state of the bioterror industry. They wanted some intel on their competitors.
I read it.
You read it.
I did.
Just how'd you get your hands on something like that?
I was in Umbrella HQ.
You never failed to surprise me, Emil. Nonetheless, that investigation has left me with quite a bit of knowledge on navigating the bioweapons underground. So, if there are any kinds of people in particular you're looking to get in touch with, I could probably put you in touch with them.
That's what I was hoping for. If you can't be the head of security, an advisor will do.
Well, I can certainly advise.
And I guess I'll just ask him for contact details for the Felicianos.
Okay. And he kind of gives you an off look when that happens.
To arrange a meeting.
Yeah, and he lets you know it'll take some time.
Yeah.
If you want to meet with Feliciano Brass, but
I want to meet with the brass. The brassest brass.
He believes it could be done, but it'll take some time. Maybe a few months worth of making arrangements, and even then, he said you got to be ready to go at a moment's notice. So, he lets you know that he'll be in touch when he has that arranged.
As long as it doesn't happen exactly 5 months and 4 days from now. So yeah, I'll wait for his call.
All right. So, is that everything Emil was doing for his 6 months?
That is everything Emil does. Yes, so I have acquired the company. I have acquired, I guess I have now Scott Moeller as a advisor, using him for his contacts, and I guess I'll wait for the phone call for a Feliciano face-to-face.
All right. So, anybody else want to talk about what they did over the break? Over the time jump?
I guess I can go next.
Okay.
Mine's actually really simple. Arkea A got a driver's license and a vehicle. And she moved away from Chauncey to live with Kevin. Before that, however, she did have a service for Aiden in the same church as Yuko's. She managed to get, I believe, Guitara and Kevin and Chauncey for that. And then after the service, which I have the service up on Twitter, so you guys can go look at it. She moved in with Kevin about February, March, I would say about late March. Sent a letter to Emil, very important, sad, strong-headed letter. And then at the very end, Arkea puts together a memorial for all anti-bioterror heroes, just outside of Raccoon City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just there's a little plot of land just along the highway.
Zero.
Yeah, the highway to Ground Zero.
Yeah.
That she sort of acquired and set up a little sort of rose garden area around. And it's now being used as a memorial for people who have fallen to the fight against bioterrorism.
Yep. That's that is also up on Twitter. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Sweet. Anybody else that want to go ahead and go?
Yeah. So on Katara's end, a lot of the things that she pretty much did was just go to work. She's been very focused on, wanting to get tenure, and generally just, get up there in the academic field. Really, there wasn't really much else other than that. I know she went to M.I.A for help.
Been keeping in touch with Noria too.
Yeah, pretty much. Just keeping in touch. Keeps in touch with M.I.A, keeps in touch with Nuria, and then just goes to work. Works on a bunch of stuff. And then also building up her lab, and that's about it. Her little home lab.
All right. Yeah, and you also bought a cubic buttload of stuff, I think.
Yes, I did.
Oh. Putting that money to use.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing.
Speaking of putting money to use, weren't you also an investor in Emil's company?
That's true.
Yep.
I guess that was another thing that would have happened. I forgot about
That's
that.
That's another thing.
Yeah. A small loan of $1 million.
Her and Emil talked, and then Emil was like, "Yo, dog, you got money bank Katara?" And she's like, "Yes, I do. How much do you need? I just need this much." "Oh, that's fine." Click.
And then Emil was just like, "Well, that was easy. I should have asked a long time ago."
And then even after handing over all that stuff, buying everything that she has, she still has 80,000 in the bank right now. So
she should be paying off the rest of Emil's debts.
I'm a quarter of the way to 80,000 in the wrong direction. No joke.
Yeah. See, traditionally, Emil has been barely breaking even, around $0 every time we come back from a big break. This was the first time Emil was in debt.
Ooh.
Yeah, buying a company is no joke, man.
Yeah, there were a lot of expenses.
Yeah,
I've been in over 80K in debt since the beginning, though. So
that's not true.
108K.
Oh yeah, and then other than that, always buying the latest tech that's possible to get, which I've been doing a lot of studying on things that came out in 2005. Not much did, so nothing really comes out until near the end, and then going into 2006. So
okay, we're getting to that time though soon. Here, just a few more years, your characters will have smartphones.
Yes. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Still has a Nokia.
Did you want me to roll the...
Yeah. First, you want to talk a little bit about, in more detail, about what the paper she wrote, the academic sort of essay that she put out there to see if it qualifies her for tenure.
Okay. So when talking with Emil, and everything, he kind of threw over his whole spiel about Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm. He does that often now.
And threw over the spiel and basically said you should be more provocative with a lot of the stuff. So essentially what she did was she took Emil's view and went more provocative with it, as in terms of where did I put it? In order to prevent things like this from happening in the future, we have to be willing to also become, or not really become, but also take part in such things.
In regards to viral research.
Yeah, in regards to viral research and testings, it's within environments that are both safe and secure. We know, nothing based on what Umbrella did or whatnot to people. But we should be able, we should go through to do this for information, for future resistance, for a bunch of things. Also trying to keep within the moral areas, though.
Yeah.
Because like I was going through things, and I was like, oh, I almost worded this wrong. I almost made it seem like we should immorally go into these areas. It was like, no. So yeah, that's what her whole thing is. Her whole thing was based on.
All right. Excellent.
And as she's writing, Emil is going to make some phone calls to some of his contacts in Oxford, to try to convince them, talk to them about this new scientist, Katara.
Just sort of hype her up a bit.
Hype her up a bit.
All right. Yeah, so for sure, with Emil's help and, with his contribution to the subject and helping out with the sort of academic perspective on your paper, putting a little bit more illumination on it, I would say you could definitely make that science check with advantage. But the DC is still quite high, but we'll see. Oh, good thing for advantage.
That's okay. I mean...
17?
So...
I think I rolled...
What was that?
I rolled lower than that last time, so...
Yeah, I believe you did. But the DC is getting kind of progressively lower each time you do these. So with that one, you still don't quite meet the DC, but the DC isn't very high anymore. So... but yeah, you get the sense there's a lot of eyes being put on Katara now, and especially with Emil hyping it up with his Oxford contacts, there's quite a bit more like international renown. And in fact, from that Oxford circle, Professor Sean Lennox, or the former Professor Sean Lennox, who's now a TerraSave member, and he's been quite a prolific figure in this whole movement of speaking on viral weapons and things like that, and he's been quite public. He still does lots of speaking engagements and stuff, and he actually you read in the paper that he actually mentions it and mentions your essay in one of his talks, and in fact reaches out to you if he could like cite certain stuff for some of his writings, and he seems to generally applaud your approach of doing things ethically and setting ethical boundaries, and he used to be an ethics professor as well for the sciences, and this is definitely his cup of tea. So you get quite a bit of support from Sean Lennox as well. So yeah, this was quite public, and it's difficult for the university to ignore you at this point. So you get the sense that you're very close.
Awesome. That's all. Yeah, that's all I needed.
All right.
Dude,
Yep.
Sean Lennox talked about you publicly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like...
You could watch the clip on YouTube, this new website that's like coming up.
You're right.
It's just like the cell phone footage of like Sean Lennox at a talk.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing too. Katara is starting her own YouTube channel. Since YouTube was founded in February. So yeah.
Is it still a dating site at this point?
It might be. I don't know.
I think like...
Fun fact, YouTube started out as a dating site.
Yeah.
It's like yes and no, because it started out as that, and then it went from that to a bunch of videos, like I think a month or two in, and then it just started getting crazy.
Like, yeah, people just started... They were like, nah.
People started uploading videos, and it's like, doing the whole dating thing, and someone just uploaded a random cat video, and it's like, no, this is YouTube.
This is what it's about.
Yeah, videos from that point forward.
She'll be starting her own gaming channel, which I'm actually going to be making one. I'm actually going to be making one. So
she's ahead of the curve. Back in 2005, yes. Dang.
Yeah, because Guild Wars comes out, and then other things come out, so MMO times.
Dude, she's going to be signed with the first YouTube MCN.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be there at the beginning.
She'll be with like Machinima and stuff.
All right,
dude. She's one of the first to do Justin TV instead of Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. All right, so is that everything Katara has been doing over the course of her 6-month break?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we'll get to doing the virus tests and everything once Emil and her get in contact about facility stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Which I believe Emil already did a little bit of testing as well over the course of the break, a little bit of research into.
Yeah, I did some research. I did some testing. I was able to get a couple products out of some research.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Cool.
And some of those products are on the market.
So,
can I say what the name of?
Yeah. If you want to talk about them.
Yeah. Because I guess one of the products that no. I'll talk about this later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, we'll hold it. So, last but not least,
let's do it.
Chauncey. What's Chauncey been up to?
I didn't really do much. I bought a few items. I've been busy working on my spare vehicle, and once I got it finished, I decided to hand over the keys to the Suburban to R.K.A. and help fund the memorial service and give her whatever she needed to go and live with Kevin. After fixing my vehicle, I decided to take a vacation and go to the beach with Allie. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Incoming swimsuit cover for Chauncey.
Yeah. Chauncey needs a vacation.
He needed a vacation. He's sitting on a beach right now in board shorts and a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. So while
Drinking
that's all, what?
Oh, is he drinking a fancy umbrella thingy?
I should also point out that when all this is going on with the transition, with R.K.A. moving out and moving in with her boyfriend Kevin, Mr. Fox is going to get in touch with you during that time. And by the get in touch with you, I probably mean show up on your doorstep like he does, sometimes inside your house, as he did with Emil. And but he's a little bit more comfortable with Emil. But yeah, Mr. Fox shows up on your doorstep and he speaks with you a little bit about the matter of R.K.A. moving out. And he reminds you of how that she was partly able to leave Raccoon City with her freedom, even though the U.S. government knew what she was, due in large part to the fact that you had legally adopted her. And while her licenses and everything still technically identify her as an adult, he knows it's going to be a lot more difficult to, sort of use his resources to keep her protected from prying government interests when she's out and about on her own. He's definitely going to talk to you about possibly transferring those guardian duties of yours to Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. I signed a document.
So
she's an adult and she makes that decision. I will stop her from making that decision if Kevin's fine with signing over the documents.
So Kevin's gonna come with a little bit more government baggage than he might have been prepared for, but you're just like all yours into. Now.
He knew what he was getting into. Emil gave him the talk.
Well, I mean, this entire time they haven't really affected my lifestyle, so I don't think they'll affect their lifestyle because they're government. They are sitting outside and you don't know they're there.
Yeah. All right.
But I did if they tripped my alarms.
So, I believe with that concludes everything that everybody's been doing over the course of the 6 months. So, getting into the return, then. R.K.A. You've been on the road a couple of weeks now, living out of the Suburban Chauncey gifted you last spring. As you drift from place to place, you find that each city brings something new. New sights, new people, and new leads to chase. After weeks of searching and hunting and questioning, you come across a name. Jimmy Sontag. a professional lowlife who used to run heroin for the Irish and now runs guns and girls for the Felicianos. Word is he worked closely with the Manifold back when their bioweapons were a part of the Felicianos catalog. And you know where to find him. As you travel along the endless highway in the dead of night, you see nothing but the paved road in your headlights. It's a lonely road, and not one that you see many other drivers along at this hour. But finally, you see something pass your view. A little sign off in your peripherals that reads, "Welcome to Springfield, Illinois." You arrive in the city not long after, and even sooner after that, you pull into the parking lot of your destination. Rumor has it that Pete Sontag likes to spend his, Jimmy Sontag, likes to spend his Wednesday evenings at a little place called Kimball's Bar in downtown Springfield. And that is the location that you see in front of you. Looks to be a bit of a grimy joint at the bottom of a brick building. There's a cheap neon sign that labels it as such and lights up the exterior with a bit of a flamboyant pink. But you've pulled into the lot with your Suburban.
All right. Well, first of all, Arkea is going to shut off the car, grab her one-winged butterfly mask off of the seat next to her. She's going to put it on and walk out and walk into the bar.
All right. You walk into the bar. Immediately hits you the musty smell of cigarettes filling the air inside, and you see kind of like a heavy-set lady in a sleeveless plaid shirt pouring drinks. You get the sense this is the bar owner.
She walks up to the bar, sits down. That is awesome music.
It's the sound of the bar that you hear around you. Yeah, she's pouring drinks. You see, there's a couple of people in the corners, kind of like chatting about. There's one guy at the bar, just like pounding shots.
She first kind of knocks on the bar, gets the bartender's attention, or the owner, or whoever she is.
What can I do for you, darling?
Hey, got the high shelf.
I mean, if you've got the cash.
She slaps, like, I don't know, $30 on the counter.
Well, be my guest.
You know.
And she takes whatever order you put down, and she starts pouring a drink for you.
All right. As that's happening, she kind of looks over and she looks at the guy pounding shots. How far away is he from her?
Just a couple of stools over. You see he's kind of like this tough-looking middle-aged man with a goatee and blonde hair pulled into a small ponytail. And he's wearing like this black leather jacket and faded jeans. Seems to match the description that you were given of Jimmy Sontag.
Oh yeah, that was my next question. If she knew.
You've never seen him, but this guy seems to match the description.
Okay. She looks over at him. How far gone does he look? Like, how long does he look like he's been sitting here?
He doesn't look like he's been here too long. He looks like he's just getting started.
She kind of looks over at him and goes, "Hey."
Wow. What you looking at?
Yeah. Well, I've been chasing a lead lately.
Chasing leads, huh?
Yeah.
He kind of looks you up and down, and he's just like, "You looking for work, girl? I could get you work."
Oh, she kind of sighs. She takes what she looks over. When he says that, she looks over at the bartender and goes, "Can you get me a shot or maybe two?"
She just starts pouring you drinks.
She immediately, when those shots come in, she just downs them both right away. No, I'm not looking for that kind of work. I don't know if you're him, but I know that there's a guy that likes to hang around here that worked for the Felicianos.
Yeah. So you know who I am, huh? Yeah, I run with the Felicianos.
Well, I would like a little bit more than girls.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for more in with the Felicianos, not so much their girls and their guns.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I'm on it. Let's see. Where's my macros? Here they are. Persuasion. Persuade. 20.
Nice. Actually, I think it might even be higher than that with your new charisma.
Maybe.
Yeah, either way. 20's pretty hefty.
Yeah. Okay.
But, yeah, he's just like, all right. You want to get in with the Felicianos? You looking to join up? I mean, you look pretty tough.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm looking more towards their more unethical business. And she kind of hushes that.
Well, you're certainly looking in the direction of the right crowd.
I know who I'm dealing with, trust me.
All right. Yeah, well, we'll come to find around these parts, they're mostly operating out of Chicago.
All right. Well, that's what I'm looking for. Looking for a way in, that's all.
Yeah. Well, you come to the right guy. You see, I got quite a bit of pull with that. With that group. Yeah, I run guns, all that stuff for them. Been doing it for a long time. I had been doing it with bioweapons for a bit. I don't know what that was all about, but then those guys skedaddled. Yeah.
Yeah, he can see when he mentions bioweapons, Archaea, her face gets excited, but she doesn't show it. She kind of like, she doesn't show it physically. She's more of a facial expression, excited.
I'll tell you what. I could take you up there tomorrow, see if we can set up a little bit of a, maybe a little bit of an introduction for you.
Sounds good. I got this. And she looks over at the bartender again. Another 2. 4. Give me 2 and him 2.
As long as you're paying, gal.
No, of course.
Oh, this is gonna be the start of a good working relationship. I can feel it. Now you just follow my lead, kid.
I got it.
You'll go places. I know how to hustle. Jimmy here knows how to hustle.
Jimmy. Okay. Because she had no idea what his name was. Well, I mean,
you knew. Well, you came here on the name, but
yeah. All right. Well, I'll look forward to working with you. And if the bartender brings her the drink, she's gonna down them both at once.
Double fisting shots.
Yeah, basically.
So you spend the night getting to know Jimmy a bit over some drinks and get ready to depart in the morning as he leads you towards Chicago. So, the night goes over. I'm assuming you just sort of
find a hotel.
Yeah, find a hotel, get a room, and just prepare to depart the next morning. And the next morning, he calls you up, comes around in his truck, and just like leads you on the road headed towards Chicago.
Yep.
So
I'm good with that.
In the meantime, Katara, being mostly free of academic obligations for the summer, you've taken an offer from your good friend. It is currently morning. The dawn sun has risen well over the flat horizon, and you are currently skimming over the waters of Lake Superior on a speedboat. You're joined by a sailor named Pat Turner, who's steering the boat headed northeast away from the Minnesota shore and towards the rising sun. And you're just skimming along those waters. Pat kind of turns to you in the middle of the ride. He's just like, "So what do you know about this place, ma'am?"
Mel.
Oh. Do we have Mel? He didn't say he was back.
Okay, no, my snowball keeps unplugging in the back for some reason. I'm gonna have to find a way to like duct tape it, but
super glue,
flex tape. So yeah, she's just like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I know too much. More of a first time going here.
Huh. Oh, well, you must be real special. I'm neck deep in non-disclosure papers just to steer this boat to and from.
I mean, getting paid good, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Getting paid enough to not ask too many questions, I suppose. I was just wondering what the deal is with you. I mean, I've mostly been driving, workers, construction worker types to and fro, but... I mean, you just seem to be some sort of visitor, so I guess I was kind of curious.
Oh, no, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Just, like, kicks back.
Kick back on the boat. A few minutes pass as the speedboat continues gliding along the waters. And ahead you see a thick early morning fog kind of obscuring the way. The boat speeds directly into the massive cloud and suddenly your vision is obscured. You can't see any further than a few feet in front of you in any direction. But Mr. Turner seems quite confident. He keeps his hand on the wheel and his eyes dead ahead, like he's seen this 100 times before. The boat kind of glides forward another minute or so in the dense fog before gradually the mist begins to retreat a little bit. It begins to break. And you see ahead land, a sandy shore backed by a thick tree line coming into view. It's an island. And you spot on that shore two figures standing side by side. As you draw near, you recognize one of them as Emil. The other is a fierce-looking woman with a military cap kind of pulled over, obscuring her face. Eventually, Pat Turner slows the boat to stop at the shore, allowing you to disembark. And at this proximity, you finally recognize the woman as Joan Waters, who is the former FBC combat medic under Emil's command. And she's sort of standing at Emil's side like a lieutenant as the two of them see you disembark from the boat. Pat just sort of nods to you, is just like, "Well, I'll keep it running for whenever you're done here."
Thank you. Emil.
Katara. Welcome to my island.
Thank you. It's quite the place.
Indeed. Katara. Joan, Katara.
Yeah, I think we've met briefly in passing. You're in Terra Grigia, right?
I was?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was you. Yeah.
Well, I see you're here too. That's good. Friendly faces.
Indeed. I guess got a little too used to working with Emil to take the offers all us FBC members got for the BSAA.
Yeah, and we have killer medical benefits. Speaking of which, here's my card. And I'm gonna hand her my card.
Okay, you hand her over a business card. It's a neat looking little rectangular business card that looks a little something like this, which I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the stream as well.
Wow. Greenhouse Solutions, growing a healthier future.
That's us.
It's a good name. I like it.
Thank you. I think it really embodies what I'm trying to go for here. Please follow me. And he's going to take her more inland.
Okay. Yeah, you start moving her along, and Emil kind of leads you, Katara, for a short walk through the thick forest tree line. And not far past it, you come across a very large clearing. In fact, it seems to still be a clearing in progress. You see trees getting sawed down in the distance. And in this clearing, a half-built factory kind of rises out of the soil. And the area just rings loudly with the sound of construction in full bloom. You got drills, jackhammers, saws, the works. You see kind of panels of wall rising out of the ground before ending at various elevations, like a sort of pixel gradient almost.
As we're approaching, I guess Emil's going to like stop by a little like booth around the edge and just like pick up some hard hats, and it's just like, legally I have to make you wear this.
That's fine. She'll just take it.
Hard hat. So he's going to take her around the facility, or I guess the remains, not the remains. What's the opposite of remains when it's being constructed?
Yeah, like the skeleton. Yeah.
The skeleton of this facility. So he'll show you around. He'll walk you about. Currently, most of the buildings that are erected are all like for construction. Like none of the actual facility has been erected. Just most of the foundations have been set. There's a lot of digging. Machines that are around just like hauling earth to and fro. He'll point you out to the larger swath of flattened land. He'll tell you that's where the greenhouse of Greenhouse Solutions is going to be erected, and their primary export in the future is looking to be herbs and other herb technology.
That is quite the I'm trying to think what word. That's quite the thing you've got going, I guess.
Indeed. Of course, Greenhouse Solutions, the greenhouse of Greenhouse Solutions, is just that's just business. The exciting stuff is going to happen underground. That's where me and you are going to do our work. Of course, have you gotten in contact with Nuria lately?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, have you heard anything about her treatment?
Did I? I don't know. Hold on. Did I see this? Was that any?
I don't think she mentioned it in any of like the letters that you guys exchanged. Yeah, or the.
Yeah, like I don't know if she did. I'm like going back.
I don't think so. No, yeah, you probably haven't heard of it yet.
So, Nope. She's like, I haven't actually.
Well. So our first product is called Pyridine, and he's going to like pull a little like bottle out of his pocket with a couple of pills in it, and he'll just like, show her the pills. Pyridine. It's a completely synthetic pain reliever. It's used as a treatment for cancer patients. This is technically our first product that we're shipping.
Well, that's really good.
Indeed. Also through and I'll point to, or I'll like gesture to Joan, through our field medics here, we've gotten a couple of government grants to be able to be first responders in any outbreaks that may happen in the near future. So we'll still be getting paid to be at the front lines whenever we need to grab whatever we need to grab.
Good. I like that.
All with the help of the government. Good old Sam's coming in.
Yeah, and kind of looking around, Katara, as Emil's like walking you through this place as you're talking. You start to see that it really is starting to come together, even though the walls are kind of half erected. You do see like the starts of what looks to be an impressively well-equipped laboratory that you know that your funding helped to partially fund, and it's quite frankly some of the best you've ever seen, perhaps even since Nest back in Raccoon City. You also see they got like fully functional and automated assembly lines, which look to currently be in service, that are kind of helping to produce the some of the products Emil was talking about.
She's like, this looks better than Nest. Already coming together.
I really hope so.
I see the investment really helped.
Yeah. It definitely helped. But once we get fully operational, maybe I'll be out of the hole. This place was expensive.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Random question. Is our foreman working here?
Yeah, Kevin would probably be around here somewhere.
Okay. Just like, I guess just waving at him as we're like doing
you can kind of
rounds.
You see Kevin just like off in the distance, just like directing different workers to various tasks and looking over blueprints and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Even got Kevin in on it.
Oh, Kevin's here too. Wow.
Yep. He's our head engineer, making sure all this goes on to our very specific needs. And as I guess as we're like leaving Kevin's like earshot, just like waving to him as we're passing by, it's like it's also a good way to keep Archaea around close.
Understandable.
Yes, we'll do good work here.
As you kind of survey all of your domain, as you say this, seeing the sparks fly off of welders' tools and various pieces of machinery and equipment being moved about, you're filled with a pretty well-earned sense of pride, Emil. And at that moment, your phone goes off, get a little text message.
Oh, yeah. Is it from Scott?
Looks to be from Scott.
Sweet. I've been waiting for this for like 4 months now.
Not quite that long, actually. I think it's been like...
Yeah. No, actually, I think it might be longer because I talked to him in
April.
Well, actually, I don't know when this is happening.
Currently August. So...
4 months, actually.
Oh, yeah. We were spot on there. All right. But yeah, you get a text message, and it simply reads, Don Feliciano will meet you, but the window is small. 11 a.m. tomorrow. Be there. And he gives you an address. Yeah, he gives you an address of a place in Chicago. Yep.
All right. I guess as soon as I get that, just look over to Katara, and it's like, well, you helped fund this, but we have some more investors we got to talk to if you would want to come with me.
More investors. All right.
Yep. You might be familiar with them. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, you said?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Tomorrow at 11, I'm going to be meeting with Don Feliciano.
Feliciano. Wow, you are really getting up there with contacts.
Well, I know a guy who knows a guy.
Okay, so word of mouth. And... well, I guess if you will have me come along, then I will. I have nothing else to do.
It never hurts. Besides, if I'm going to be making my pitch, it would be good. It'd be nice for them to know who they're working for.
Well, I will come along then.
All right. He'll continue. He'll finish off the tour and make a phone call to Chauncey as well.
Okay. Place a phone call to Chauncey. And Chauncey, you're on the beaches of the Bahamas when you get this call.
I'll make it quick, I guess. Or I'll tell you to make it quick. Like, yeah, what's kind of on the beach.
Are you doing anything tomorrow at 11?
I mean, like, I'm kind of on the beach, brother.
All right.
Yeah, like I'm way out of town.
All right, that's all right. I'll talk to you later then.
What do you need though?
Oh, we just have some meetings with some investors. I would prefer if you came along with me for this.
If you need somebody to go along with you, I can refer some people. But yeah, I'm kind of trapped on this beach, enjoying the sand and the waves.
You do that. You take that time off.
I needed it.
Yeah. Honestly, I do too. But I'll talk to you after.
You sure? I can give you some references.
No, I need you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pass on it this time.
All right, no problem.
Thanks for the call. Call back. I'll give you a call whenever I come back. Go back home.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Then I just hang up.
All right.
It's like Chauncey will not be joining us.
Oh, that's all right. Deserves a break.
He does.
After a lot of the things we've all been going through.
Yep.
All right.
Also, I have a few things on me, though it doesn't seem like there's a facility to work at yet to do these things.
Do we at least have a cold storage running?
Yeah, you probably have a unit around. It's running on generator power.
Yeah, we currently have a temporary setup for any small research that I've been doing while at this facility. It's just right over here. We've got cold storage over there. We have very basic lab setup on this end.
All right, that's good because I have some things I would like to go through with you.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, cold storage is. At this point, would we have any security measures set up, like ID cards or whatever?
Not quite yet.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'll probably keep that with you.
All right. Yeah. Other than that,
all right.
Yeah,
you
she's just marveling in the sights.
All right. So yeah, you finish up the rest of the tour, show Katara around what you guys have been working on. And in the meanwhile, later that day, I suppose, Chauncey, you were prepared to be on vacation for a little while longer, maybe another day, maybe two, but those plans didn't quite come through because you and Allie, while you were just finishing up your warm vacation in the Bahamas, received a call from your BSAA superiors. There's a situation in Davenport, Iowa. A pack of lickers has been unleashed on a residential area. The police suspect it to be a part of a distraction, since a bank heist is currently underway on the other side of town. While the local SWAT is dealing with the heist, the BSAA has been called in to eradicate the lickers, which are now swarming their way through an apartment complex. The apartments have been evacuated and the building quarantined. And you are currently in the back of a Sea-Knight transport helicopter entering Iowa airspace. This is kind of later on in the same day. And besides you are your fellow Foxtrot 1 squad mates. You see Allie donning a heavy Kevlar vest. You see the clean-shaven, blonde-haired young man that you know as Pistol Grip Pete, kind of shaking his leg impatiently as he holsters his two handguns. And the slim young man with the goatee that you know as Newton is on the horn. And you hear him making some calls, some jargon being exchanged over the radio. And he just puts the radio back in the comm and kind of, gets the headset on with the rest of you. And he points out, all right, local PD estimates there are about 3 lickers cornered in the apartment building. The entire block has been evacuated, and police and BSAA have the building surrounded. Foxtrot 2 and 3 are already on the ground, awaiting your order, Captain. If you want my advice, I say we rappel onto the roof and work our way down while Foxtrot 2 and 3 work their way up from the first floor. Sandwich those long-tongued freaks.
You're talking my language. Let's do it.
All right. And you see him kind of head over to the cockpit and relay the order to the pilot. You see Allie kind of just pumping a shell into a shotgun. She's just like, "Oh, well, if there was any way this vacation was gonna end."
Well, at least it ends with a bang, right?
Yeah. That's what we do, right?
Never get away from this stuff. I live for bullets. Let's go.
And Pistol Grip Pete just sort of stands up from his seat, just like unbuckling himself. He's like, it's about time. Let's go. As he starts to unholster his 2 handguns. So, you're well over Iowa airspace. A couple more minutes into the flight, you approach the apartment building. It looks to be about you've been from the briefing, you would know it's about a 10-floor apartment complex. And you are flying overhead onto the roof. Below, out of the kind of the windows of the C-Night, you can see the situation on the ground. You see the police sort of setting up a barricade and enforcing a barricade and keeping a perimeter around the entire area so that civilians can't get in and the lickers can't get out. You see your other the other parts of your BSAA unit sort of setting up shop down there, and you kind of hear them coming in on the radio over your headset and just like, Foxtrot 2 to Foxtrot 1, we're in position, waiting your order. Foxtrot 3, likewise, over.
Well, I'll give a hold position until we touch the roof. When I touch the roof, breach the facility and start making a clearing up.
Copy that, sir. And as the C-Night, the back of the helicopter opens up, and you see Newton immediately like throwing down like paracord rappels for you guys to slide down. It's just like, all right, we should be good to go.
Zip.
All right. And so you just zip on down. And just like Newton's just like waving everybody through. Allie goes down after you and immediately draws her weapon afterwards. Pistol Grip Pete just like slides halfway down the paracord and then just like dives off and dive rolls along the floor. And Newton heads in last and draws his SMG and prepares to follow you guys in. It's just like, following your lead, sir.
I'm gonna pull out, of course, my trusty shotgun.
Mm-hmm. And you're traveling lighter now, aren't you?
I am traveling a little lighter.
Yeah.
I am not carrying as many weapons. I mean, they're there. I got all the weapons I need, but I kicked in the door and I'm ready to start shooting things with shotguns.
All right. So you kick in the door. I trust you give the order to Foxtrot 2 and 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So you give the order and you hear them breaching and clearing down below. As just like the entire 8-man unit at the ground level starts heading in through the first floor. So you kick in the door, you head into the stairwell, and you are making your way down floor by floor. So you get in on that 10th floor. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Or I'll say you can use situational awareness. Perception check with advantage for clearing all the rooms on this floor. And again, you know the area has been entirely evacuated, so you don't have to worry about civvies or anything like that. Oh,
23. Natural 20, by the way.
Natural 20. Well, you start breaching and clearing. What's the sort of marching order amongst your squad? Are you point man or?
I am always point man. I would say that Pistol Grip Pete wants to fight me for point man, but he's still always behind me because I just have this motivation to always get the job done and be first in the door. But he wants to take over because he's a little bit more gung ho and also he wants to protect me.
Yeah.
Allie taking up the rear and Newton is third in line.
Okay, so kind of like the vets on the outside and then the more utility squad mates on the inside.
Well, is Pistol Grip Pete rocking dual pistols?
He is rocking dual pistols.
Okay, so like the spider kind of thing, I kick in the door, I have the shotgun, he's got like 2 pistols over my shoulders.
Yeah, so you've got your breach and clear maneuvers down, you've done this drill, you've drilled this tons of times over at BSAA's North American HQ. You guys got you know, like the training course there, and you've drilled all these maneuvers, and with that natural 20, you clear this floor like nobody's business. There are no lickers on this floor that you are able to see. So you start moving down to the ninth floor. Go ahead and make the same check.
Okay. Natural 20, 23.
Oh my goodness. 2 natural 20s back to back. Yeah, I know. This is your gig. You got your squad. And don't forget, you also got your SOU Captain Feat, which has been added since the last time we played. So, yeah, you've been taking your squad through and breaching, clearing, and just making short work of this floor. You clear the entire area. I'll say with that natural 20, you would notice that there are no lookers on this floor either, but you do hear what sounds to be movement below one of the rooms, just below. You get the sense they might be moving along the rooftops on the lower floors, how close it sounds.
I kind of turn back to pistol grip Pete there, and I like tap my ear and point to the ground to give him acknowledgement that I'm hearing something below, and keep moving forward. Just be really ready this time, because when we hit this floor, something's moving.
All right. So yeah, you give him that signal, and you communicate all that, and you get down over to the next floor. One floor down, you are now on the 8th floor. Go ahead and make another one last situational awareness check.
Oh, almost. 21.
Still over 20. So yeah, you get down, you start breaching a couple rooms, but as you after you go through the first couple of rooms, you kind of hear some sounds off to the side, and looking around, you see coming around the next corner a licker just crawling along the roof. It's just like red skin, just really apparent under the lamplight, and or just like lack of skin for that matter, and its tongue just seething out. I'm gonna need you to roll a quick initiative.
Pull that bad boy up. So am I rolling initiative just versus the liquor then, or am I rolling initiative for everybody, or you have everybody else?
I got everybody else. Everybody else is on NPC, so.
Okay. Oh, here we go. There's a 12. So I can clear some stuff, but I cannot start some stuff.
Okay, give me a second to roll everybody else. Okay.
So the liquor knew we were coming, and I knew it was coming. So like the awareness isn't going to be like a thing where I get to proceed forward with not being what's that called? I forget what it's called now.
Surprise?
Yeah, not surprise. That's the word.
Yeah, there's no surprise involved.
Okay.
Both sides seem to be well aware of the other.
You're going into fight.
Yeah, because they heard you kicking indoors. You heard them moving around below. Yeah, everybody knows this is combat. So
now, quick question.
Yeah.
Quick question though. With the Resident Evil 2 remake, where you were able to be quiet and they don't really know exactly where you're at, is that still a possibility to try to find out if that's a thing in this?
Well, I mean, that's always been kind of a thing, because they are
Okay.
blinded. They don't have any eyes. But you would have had to specify that going in, and I would have had to make you roll stealth checks. So.
No. I'm not stealth now, but
Okay,
I mean, like,
yeah.
if I could point guys into rooms and they could dodge out of the way, and then I somehow make it around this thing without making noise into stealth from now to kind of confusion or something like that, would that be a tactic I could possibly use?
Yeah, no, you'd probably have to use some action economy to do it, but yeah, it'd be possible.
Okay.
You'd have to. That sounds like it kind of goes under the hide action. That's kind of what the purpose of that is.
Okay.
But yeah, so top of the round, Newton's going first, and he's assuming that weapons are live, and he's got the go ahead to engage this thing. So
Life is live, weapons are live.
All right, so he's gonna kind of position himself. It's about 30 feet out from you guys, or at least from you at the front. So he's gonna move up a bit to kind of be side by side with you and take some shots with his TMP. which hits. So he fires a full 5-round burst, just like, and deals 12 points of piercing damage to the liquor. And he just like fires off that burst and then just like backs up a little bit behind you. And well, he's an agent, so he's gonna go ahead and like duck into one of the side rooms, kind of taking your idea, and use his bonus action to hide. So quick stealth. He's pretty well hidden. So that's gonna be the end of Newton's turn. Next up is Chauncey. I think he might be muted.
He's not muted in Discord. Your microphone might be unplugged.
Uh-oh.
You're not showing green on Discord.
Stand by. Technical difficulties.
Okay.
There we are.
Do you hear me now? All right. So, yeah, this is why I'm buying a new mic. Because snowballs obviously are having problems today. Because I didn't unplug it. It didn't move. It just decided to disconnect. But yes, I am going to do the Chauncey thing. Move up 30. Take my shotgun, stick it right to the face of this thing, and pull the trigger.
All right. So go ahead and roll with advantage.
And this is +1. That's right. Okay.
Which, by the way, to our audience, this is kind of like a beta homebrew kind of thing, so there are constantly changes being made, and there were some changes that were made between the now and the last time we played, one of which is that the soldiers now have D12 hit dice, and we kind of accounted for that change by kind of giving Chauncey a bit of a HP boost, since the average raises by 1, so we just gave him 1 for every level, so that's why his hit points are a bit higher than last time, despite the fact that we didn't level up or anything.
Also, like, how bad does this liquor look? Does he look like he's in decent health?
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's been hurt, but he's not like on death's door or anything.
Okay, well, then I'm gonna just go ahead and roll with a headshot, because I did say I was pointing at the head.
All right, aiming for that big exposed brain that is on the top of its jaw.
So that gives me yes. Okay, 6 minus 5 plus 1. Okay, so my attack roll is that, and advantage 19.
Oh wait, 19 hits.
Right, and that 2d8. That is that plus 6 with my flechettes. Yep. Sorry, there's a lot of math.
Yeah, there's a lot. You could do a lot. So these are flechette rounds you're firing off.
Yeah, because that's all I have is flechettes. Okay. So it's already plus 10, plus my damage, plus 1, and then I add the rest. Okay, and that is 4d8. 26, and then that is 2d6 of damage. Yeah. And that's an extra 6, so that is 32.
All right. So you rush up to this thing with your shotgun in hand and just like point it down on its brain. It's like, and just as it's about to swipe at you with its claws, you just like, just turn its brains into paste against the floor underneath you. Yeah, this thing's pretty dead.
Can I have a flavor that where I just kind of one-handed just
just wielding your shotgun one-handed. Yeah, that is what Chauncey did.
Yeah, something I'm not new to. It's just like that's how you kill it.
Starting to hear at this point gunfire from the floors below. It sounds like your other teams have encountered the other lickers.
Okay, with the hearing of more and more gunfire, Chauncey's actually going to sling the shotgun back over his shoulder to finish off his action economy here.
All right. So at the end of Chauncey's turn, you hear some like scuttling coming out behind you, and then like bursting out of one of the stairwell doors comes another licker that runs into the hallway behind your sort of line, and it just sort of kind of runs up, and it's going to go ahead and I think the first person it would see in the back is Allie, so it's gonna run up and try and make a claw attack against her, which it hits. I'll just take the average for the sake of time here, and it does 7 points of slashing damage to her as it just like claws across her, just like as it runs by, and then it runs on past her and past, I think Pistol Grip Pete would be behind it. She does get an opportunity attack, so I'll just go ahead and roll unarmed melee damage with her. Or she has a combat knife, so she'll use that. So she just pulls the knife out and attempts to stab at it, but misses as it gets away. Pistol Grip Pete is going to try the same and try and knife it as it passes. But he also misses and just like, and it sort of trips him as it moves along, and he just like collapses to the ground prone. But the licker continues running on down the hall, and it's going to use the second attack with its multi-attack to make a tongue attack against you and stretch that out to attempt to hit you. So this is with its tongue. It's a 14.
No.
All right, so the tongue lashes out, but doesn't find any purchase on your person. At the end of its turn, after that is going to be Pistol Grip Pete, and he's a little furious, so he's gonna get up. He's like, you little, and he just like gets up from prone, and he's gonna aim both handguns and start unloading down the hall. So let's see. That's first handgun attack is 11, which misses, and 15, which I believe hits. Yes, it does. So it takes 8 points of piercing damage from Pistol Grip Pete as he's just like just starts firing both M9s from his hand down at the licker, and you see splatters of blood shooting off of it. That's gonna end Pete's turn. Next up is going to be Allie. She's gonna rush up to it, and she's going to use her shotgun and follow in like manner to you and use it in the optimal range. So she's gonna get advantage on the attack roll.
I've taught her well.
But unfortunately still misses as she brings her shotgun up, and it just like claws the barrel away at the last minute before it fires off to the side. That's all she could do. But Newton, at this point, back up to the top of the round, is gonna come out of hiding and pop around the corner and fire some shots at this licker. It is unaware of him, so he does get advantage on the attack roll. And
my team of symbols.
So he's gonna need that advantage. And that hits, plus sneak attack damage as well, for having advantage and being flanked. That's gonna be a total of 19 points of piercing damage as he just like leans out and fires a burst, and then retreats back into the room and hides. So, yeah, he seems pretty well hidden. Moderately well hidden. We'll see. So, back up around to Chauncey.
Thinking to himself as he looks back and sees Allie miss with the shotgun, he thinks back to being able to teach Arkea to drive, but her obviously not to shoot. He pulls out his effing P90.
Okay.
And starts pacing forward as he's unleashing the shots. So he'll shoot at his current standing and then get up in the grill for the extra attack.
Oh, okay.
And perform the other one. So we'll do that. Shoot from here. First 5, I think, is how many I can shoot with this one.
Yep.
Yeah, 5. First 5 will come from this spot. Which I'm how far away from it? Like 10 feet, you said?
Probably a little bit. You'd be within 20 feet, yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
Either
so
way, you're
I'm
not
still
far,
within my distance. Yeah.
Because that's the reach on its tongue.
Okay. And I'm yeah. I have to wait till I hit, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
16.
16.
16 hits.
Okay. This is 5d4 plus 3. Can I attach that stopping power to this as well?
You can, but I don't think it's gonna matter because how do you want to do this?
Just pull up as I start to pace forward, getting ready to take two goes at this guy. I'm just gonna like one-hand it again, just right at his head.
So you just hold your gun out and just like just spray and pray, and kind of using being very familiar with your weapons, using the muzzle rise to keep pretty clear of your teammates behind it. And just like making sure all the bullets sink into this thing, and you just riddle it with bullets. Lots of little exit wounds shooting out of the back of this skinless creature as it cries out with a sort of shrill shriek and collapses limply to the ground. As you hear some gunfire from down below, also starting to wrap up and die down.
Do I hear any more scurrying, or can I just go 30 feet forward just to end my turn?
Yeah, you don't hear any more.
Hold an action.
You don't hear any more scurrying at this point. So, yeah, the building seems to be clear after you radio into your other units. You hear them start radioing in. It's like, oh, we got one looker down here.
Took out 2.
Well,
2. We're on 8, right? 2 on 8.
Copy that. The authorities said they only know about 3 lookers running around here, so I think that might be all of them.
Well, we'll proceed forward down, and you guys meet in the middle. We'll just make sure. And
Copy
then,
that, sir.
If you'd like, obviously split the groups up into 2, so one's clearing one floor, one's clearing the next floor above, and they kind of leapfrog over each other.
Copy that, Captain.
To make that go faster.
So yeah, the groups
jump rope. Leapfrog?
Yeah.
So the teams of your unit kind of split up and take the building floor by floor, making sure it's all clear. And given about the next hour or so, you guys are able to get a pretty good clearing of the entire building. There do not seem to be any BOWs left in here.
Okay. I document that and send that information over to my head BSAA agents, letting them know that it's all clear and to do what they need to do. If there's anything else, we're in the area.
All right, so you report the all clear, and the police and everybody down below seem to get put at greater ease as they start sending in the teams to be able to recover and extract the BOW safely and get everybody moved back into the apartment. And with that's going to be where we take our midpoint break. So we'll be back to see the aftermath of this little BSAA mission immediately afterwards. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. And also, I see Briger and Noseberry and a few others in the chat. So yeah, we'll be chatting with everybody in the chat when we get back from break before we get back into the role play. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. All right. So, are we ready to get back into things?
Dude.
So ready.
So ready?
That's about it.
All right.
Just dude. It's like I don't know what else we're gonna do. This has been awesome.
That's the whole story.
This is so fast paced compared to like the last bunch of starts.
yeah, I know, right?
We were on point this time.
I was just telling Lauren that over the break too. I was just saying I'm super happy with how this opening turned out. Like, you know, I wanted to do something super cinematic this time around, and that took a lot of prep work to get everybody kind of on the same page. But I think it paid off. I'm really happy with how it turned out.
It's super paid off.
Yeah. All right. So, getting back into things. In the aftermath of this incident at the apartment complex in Davenport, Iowa, Chauncey, you kind of make your way down to the ground level eventually, hang out with the rest of your team at the camp as you watch the police get the civilians situated and start funneling people after the BOW corpses have been thoroughly removed and disposed of. You see them start moving the evacuated civilians back into the building so that they can return to their homes. You also see some new figures starting to arrive on the scene. Some figures from a company called Greenhouse Solutions start showing up and start tending to some of the injured civilians that have that might have taken some hits from the liquors on the way out. You see a familiar face among them, one Joan Waters from formerly of the FBC. You recognize her. She was on Emil's detail. But yeah, you see her and others sort of tending to the wounded and making sure there are no signs of infection or anything like that among all the civilians, running them through all the procedures that you know are standard for this type of incident.
Dude, but this doesn't look like awkward to me that they've shown up out of nowhere, new business and whatnot.
I mean, you would be familiar with, like, you know, organizations like this and how the UN has certain deals in place to make sure they get you know, these groups with the training to be able to handle scenarios like this get, you know, first priority in incidents and get called in to help with the cleanup, essentially.
Okay. So I notice her. If she notices me, I'll give her a nod. Hey, how you doing? Just clean that up, you know? Kind of thing.
Yeah. Just like, no.
You're welcome.
No awkward passing, just like nodding and moving on.
Yeah. And then if I'm done here,
yeah,
since I'm now stateside, I can make phone calls.
Yeah, you can. And yeah, you make your way back to the Sea Knight and start, you know, you got your civvies in there and everything, all your stuff packed up and on board there, and you can fish your phone out, which you weren't able to use during the op. So yeah, you fish your phone out, and upon fishing it out, you do see that you have a couple of text messages waiting for you from Cambria.
Okay. I will scroll through them.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to look away from the stream?
Possibly. Well, actually, I don't know. It depends on whether you're gonna read it out loud.
I can. Yeah. Okay. So I got a message from Cambria. It says, Chauncey, need to talk. Been looking into parents in Chicago. Think I'm onto something big, and it's not good. Call us ASAP. And she texts again. If you don't hear from me in an hour, something's gone wrong. I love you, bro. Okay, so what time is it?
It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, so I haven't. I have no missed call, no continued messages.
Nothing like that. It just ends there.
I will message back. I will send a message back. Was busy, sorry. Please reply.
All right, you send that text message.
Yeah.
You wait a little while.
After like 5 minutes, I'm then going to get a hold of M.I.A and see if she has any kind of information on where she is located at. If she has any way of tracking her cell phone.
Okay. Yeah, you 5 minutes go by, you don't receive any response. And yeah, so you immediately get a hold of M.I.A. And she's like, all right, I'll look into it for you, Chauncey. And she goes off and starts gathering some intel. A little while later, she would get back to you saying like, yeah, apparently she's been taking some vacation time from her duties at the NSA. I guess that's how she found time to be around Chicago. Yeah, I can't find anything. No, her cell phone seems to be deactivated. Nothing to be able to track her with. It's gone off the radar. It's a little strange.
Do you have any last known location? Like exact location of the phone before it was powered off, or you don't have the ability to track that?
It'd be kind of difficult, but I mean, we sort of get the general location. There's not enough data to triangulate a specific place, but it looks like she was kind of in the general Chicago area. Which I guess you could sort of derive from her text messages.
Yeah. I was getting that as well. But where in like how close am I to Chicago from where I'm at? That's the question I need.
It's just a couple hours drive or even shorter flight.
Is there anybody that I could get a hold of to bring me my personal vehicle while I fly over? So whenever I land, I have my... Because I don't even remember where I would have left it. I don't know if I took a flight from like Pittsburgh or something in that area to go to the Bahamas.
You see Allie off to the side, just sort of like hitting up a conversation with Joan, and just like talking about just like it's like, oh, so you work with like BOWs pretty regularly then, huh? You guys have some pretty special medical insight on that. That's interesting. Yeah, so, and she's just sort of like inquiring about like viruses and stuff, professional inquiry it seems, but you would know that she would be able to, she'd probably be heading home immediately afterwards, and so she'd probably be able to stop by wherever you last left it, if it was at the airport or whatever, and make sure and just like get it driven over to you. Over to Chicago.
Yeah, I'll ask her if she can do that and let her know that I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and take the helicopter, or get a helicopter flight to Chicago, and I'll be there just to get a hold of me whenever she is within the area. Or would it be simpler for me to just fly to my house, get said vehicle, and then go to Chicago?
That's true. Yeah, you could just get flown over directly to your vehicle.
I'll do that. I'll just do that.
All right.
Fly to my vehicle, take my new vehicle out, and go for a ride.
Yeah. It'll take quite a bit extra time, but it could be done.
Yeah, the whole time I'm going to kind of be blowing up her phone. Knowing that there's not going to be a response, just sending random things, just like ... yo, hey, things like that. Where did Lauren and them say they were going? Were they going to go to Chicago?
We didn't say where we were going.
Oh, you didn't say. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess Chauncey doesn't know. Yeah.
All I told you was that I was going to go to see some investors, and I wanted you to know.
Oh, okay. I'm going to shoot you a text message. And you didn't tell me that like Katara was coming with you, right?
Yeah, I think I told you that Katara was coming. If I didn't, then I would.
Okay, so I'll send both you a message. One specifically for you saying, hey, I did make it back stateside. Long story for another day, but I'm heading to Chicago. Get a hold of me whenever you can. And then I'm also going to send a message to Katara, be like, I don't know if Emil knows how to use a cell phone, but I sent him a message to let him know. And then go from there. And then obviously I'll shoot Arkea a message and just be like, hey, I'm back from vacation. When things settle down from returning, I want to go check out your garden. I'm sorry I missed it. And then just go from there. Hopefully she replies. But then, yeah, I'll do my driving from there.
Arkea will reply to that, by the way. She'll just text you. Love you, Dad. Glad you want to see it. Glad you liked your vacation, and I'm in Chicago. Done.
Okay, so she's the one who went to Chicago. This is how I found out.
Yeah.
And then Emil texts you back. It's like, heading to Chicago. Meet you there.
Oh no! Everybody's got Chicago. All right. I'm gonna out of character,
but like
baguette. But when I arrive to my vehicle, can I empty the contents in my house chest into the trunk?
Sure. Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. Okay. And then that'll
so
be.
So you get into
it.
your armored Camaro that you'd finished up over this break, and are now taking it to the road. Yeah, like I said, it'll take you some extra time. I would say you might miss out on a long rest if you want to get there by morning.
You don't need it.
I do kind of need it.
We'll incur a point of fatigue.
Yeah, my tire list doesn't work the way it used to.
Okay.
But it still works. So yeah, Chauncey doesn't care. He's through the night.
Okay, so you drive through the night.
Yeah.
So you do accumulate a point of fatigue. So make sure you have them marked. But yeah, you drive through the night and you get to Chicago in the early hours of the morning. And by the time you get there, the city's still asleep for the most part. The street lights are on. It's still a busy metropolitan area, but you are there probably ultimately. Well, no, it depends on when. Emil will probably beelined it to the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think me and Katara,
you probably got there before that evening, and then Chauncey arrives very early the next morning.
Yeah, I think me and Katara finished our tour there, slept somewhere, wherever, I guess, either at his house or at, I think Kevin's place is technically closer, I'm not sure, depending on where he decided to go, but then immediately headed over to Chicago. If that's all right with Katara.
Wait, so you guys slept first, then went to Chicago?
Yeah, because it was the day before, right?
It was the day before. But it was like super early in the day when you guys were doing the facility tour.
Yeah, so I think we would have time to sleep in like the afternoon and then head over there for
okay, so yeah, so you guys kind of get there early the next in the next morning.
Emil would want to get there early just in case so that we can like stake out the area if it's the same mansion that we had been to before.
I don't think we've been there. No, I don't think you've been there. You've been told about the Feliciano mansion, but
we've only ever
heard of it.
Yeah. So we're hearing about it again. So I was like, yes, I remember that. I wanted to go bust in a couple years ago. Just kick the door in.
Yeah, I think Aiden was the one who said that was a bad idea.
Emil doesn't believe in bad ideas.
But yeah, so
only ideas that don't work yet.
So yeah, and Arkea, you probably arrived in Chicago the earliest, considering that you had you'd left you'd prepped the previous night, and then the morning that everybody else just went through, you would have been already traveling to Chicago. So yeah, you arrive there, and you know that your guy is your guy Jimmy. Your boy Jimmy is talking to some people, and he's trying to move some pieces to get you a meeting, but this might take some time. So you're prepared to settle in like a hotel or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready. She's like sitting on the edge of her seat.
When I arrive in Chicago, being that the message was about my parents, can I go and visit their gravesite?
Okay. Yeah, you know how to find that. So yeah, you've kind of arriving super early in the morning and seeing like the peaceful atmosphere about the whole city that's not very usual. Yeah, it's a nice time. No one's really around, and you head over to the cemetery on the outskirts of town, on the western side of the city. It's called Castle Cemetery, and you arrive there. It's a few miles beyond the city limits, west of Chicago, and it's a isolated sort of plot of land enclosed by iron fencing. And the front gate, which is accompanied by a metal sign that bears the cemetery's name, is the gate's open and leads along an old paved road deeper into the vast grassy field dotted with tombstones. And the road eventually ends in a small flat area nearby to a chapel, which seems to be an informal parking lot. There are various paths leading out from here and into the fields of graves, and you would know which path to take to find your mother's grave. And you head in that direction. You find a small and cheap headstone, slightly overgrown, that reads, Helen Clancy, beloved daughter, 1944 to 1969. And nearby to it, you also be aware of another tombstone. It's shaded by a small oak tree, or at least it would be during the day, that's kind of growing beside it. It reads, Samuel Abrams, beloved father of adopted cubs, 1920 to 1992. And it's a meager headstone, but the most that the Clancy siblings could afford at the time. And these two tombstones of, one father figure that you'd known quite a long time and one mother that you never met are situated not too far from each other.
If I could walk past Sam's first and just kind of just like give like a kiss my hand and kind of touch his stone and just be like, yeah, love you, Sam, and just keep walking to the mother's grave. And then I want to see if I can investigate if anybody's been near it lately.
Okay, make an investigation check.
10.
Okay. It's a bit difficult to tell in the night, although it is a little, like I said, overgrown. So there is quite a bit that, that could show signs of wear. So it's not too, so it kind of offsets the difficulty a little bit. But yeah, it does. There do seem to be some, not wear, but it looks like some of the overgrowth has kind of been brushed away even prior to your arriving. It's not a very active part of the cemetery, and you get the sense that somebody might have been here recently.
I paused for a while, just kind of overlooking it, just like in the back of my mind, asking myself questions. Like, obviously, it had to have been her. She was here. What did she find? What does she know? Where could she have gone from here? Do I see any sense of a struggle in this area?
You don't see anything that would resemble a struggle, no.
Okay, so no cell phones laying around, anything like that?
Nothing of that sort. Oh, that investigation check anyway.
Is like the groundskeeper nearby? Or an office.
Yeah, you don't. The only like sort of building that you see in the area is that chapel, and it's kind of locked up for the evening. But you get the sense that you know, groundskeeper might come through there by morning, or by the time the sun rises. At least it's currently morning, but.
I will head back to my vehicle. Can I take a short rest in my vehicle?
You can take a short rest, yeah, for sure.
And I was gonna just craft some things real quick.
Okay, yeah, you could get some crafting done as well. So what are you gonna try and craft?
Yeah, I'm gonna craft some of my shells.
Okay.
So I forgot to do that during the break. So I will try to craft one set of scrap material into improvised shells and one set of box of nails into flechette.
Gotcha. Let's go ahead and make those rolls.
While he's crafting, I totally forgot to ask, but Emil is going to take some stuff out of his house inventory as well, because I totally forgot that I have some stuff there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll say you got that done on the trip up.
But I do have a question. Mm-hmm. I don't have any room in my active inventory, but I have room in like my medical pouch and insulated bag. Can I take some I want to take some steroids and adrenaline needles with me that I don't plan to use. Can I keep those in one of those bags?
What do you mean you don't plan to use?
I don't plan on using them. I mostly plan on using them as bargaining chips.
Okay, like props, so to speak.
Yeah. I want to propose them as product. And I like having a sample on me would be nice. So like, but I don't have any spare room. Like I don't have any open slots. Kind of keep that in my medical pouch or an insulated bag per se, because I have room in both of those.
Okay, I will say, yeah, I'll say I'll allow it to be carried in your insulated pouch.
Okay. Now. Well, I've only got one room though, or one space.
Yeah.
I'll take adrenaline.
All right. So, did Chauncey already roll, or?
No. I was waiting for you guys to finish talking before I rolled. That did not. Yeah, that did not. 13. Oh, wait, yeah, it did. DC's 10.
Yeah.
Sorry. And that did as well, then. Yes, so they're both 10s.
Wait, is that... Okay. What's the +8 from?
It says...
Should just be mobility Tinker's Tools check. Yeah, so it'd just be +3 +3.
So I don't know where I got an 8 from.
Yeah, it's your mobility plus your proficiency.
So -5 from that one. So the first one failed. The second one got 11.
I think it would be +6 in total, right? Because your mobility is a +3, and your proficiency is a +3.
Okay, then yeah, 6. -2. That one. Okay, so they both still succeed.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. I don't know where my mind went. I was like, yeah, 8, that's it.
It's all good. Been a while since we've been back in these characters.
I know where I was. I did the math, and then I looked down, and I just was like, yeah, that's it.
Was that?
Yeah, that's what 3.
You cut out
3
a little bit there, but
8. Okay. So 3 and 3 equal 8 because I seen the 3 and the 3 for the ability mod and the proficiency, and the 8's in the middle for the save DC. And I was like, yeah, 8. That's what it equals.
Oh, I see.
So my bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
On the character sheet.
Yep.
So yeah, you get some crafting done. You pull out your Tinker's Tools and start modifying some 12-gauge shells, loading them up with some extra power. Some extra projectiles to just get blasted out.
A little extra oomph.
A little extra oomph.
And I'm just going to load them into my shotgun currently.
All right.
Well, I'll load the flechettes into my shotgun. and carry around the extra 1 bullet that I have.
All right. So in the meantime, anybody else getting anything done?
I just realized I can take another steroid in my hypo gun, so
all right,
I can do that.
All right, so eventually dawn comes around, sun starts to rise, and you do see what looks to be a groundskeeper moving around the chapel, opening it up, getting everything situated.
Okay, so I'm not gonna like bum rush him, but I am gonna, give audible sounds so he knows that I'm coming to him. Like, oh, hey,
yeah.
I need to speak with you.
Approaching with your suit and everything, looking very tailored.
Yeah, not really. I'm not carrying heavy guns on me, so I won't look intimidating. But I want to ask him if he has any kind of surveillance, and ask if anybody's been paying the bill on upkeep for those 2 plots.
Okay, yeah, and he, looks to be like an older gentleman. Well, not too much older, but, late middle-aged. But yeah, he's like, unfortunately, we don't really keep much in the way of surveillance on these lands. Haven't really had much of a problem to necessitate it. Which plots are you referring to?
And I'll specify about Helen's and Sam's.
Yes, well, we do have, some, it's quite a large field, so it does take a while to get to some of the parts, but I apologize if there's anything unseemly about them for the time being.
It's just a little overgrown, which is somewhat disappointing, but I do understand, and that's fine. I just need to find out if anybody's been around to visit these, and if you would have any kind of maybe just simple surveillance of who's entered the gate and when.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have anything like that. But if you could, about roundabouts where, if you're looking to find out if a certain gravesite has been visited, roundabouts where is it? If you could kind of point me in the direction.
Yeah, I point off in the distance, like back there.
Yes, well, I believe I have seen, let me see if he remembers. Okay, yeah. He's like, I do believe I did see a young lady coming through there at some point. Yeah, it must have been maybe a day or 2 ago. This isn't exactly that's not the most high traffic of area.
Did she seem out of place to you? Did she seem disturbed or focused on leaving in like haste fashion?
No, she just seems sort of like a like a usual visitor to a gravesite. She seemed to be very somber about the whole ordeal. Just paying respects. I didn't think anything of it.
Well, thank you for your time. And if you could try to get to that before the end of this week, I'd like to come back and see it cleaned up. And then I walk away.
All right.
I would like to head to the nearest police station, maybe?
Okay, you hit up the Chicago PD.
Just kind of walk in like I own the place.
Yeah.
Not making like a missing persons report, but asking if anybody's came in questioning or like not a missing persons, but like I'm asking if they've seen this person, describe her to them, and then also if there was any kind of terminal that I can access to see if anybody's been searching up specific things like the parents' names and whatnot.
All right, yeah. So you make your way back to the inner city and walk into the Chicago police station, and you're just sort of met with like receptionists and like cold shoulders from like busy inner city police officers, just like, sorry, who are you?
Yeah, you don't need to know, or you don't want to know who I am. But
we can't just be handing out information to just anybody who walks in.
I just like show my badge, just be like, I'm here on official business. Like, I need information. Like, it's showing that I'm a captain, right?
With your BSAA credentials.
Yeah.
All right, make an intimidation check.
Sweet. I like intimidating people.
Does his badge give him advantage?
A 13.
Yeah, I'll say you get advantage with the badge. Yeah, sure. Since you flash that.
Oh, 21.
21. That's pretty good. So, yeah, you start showing some ID around, and it's just like, oh, shoot, that's authentic. And you know, with the suit and everything, it all starts to make a little bit more sense. And the clerk that you're talking to is just me like, why don't you, like, we got a records guy back there. I don't know. He might be able to tell you more about what you want to know. But just, like, okay, you know, keep it brief, you know. That's my butt on the line.
Business. No, only here for a short stay.
All right, so yeah, he directs you back to the records person, and they're just like, yeah, is something I can help you with?
And I ask him the same questions of if anybody's been pulling up information on any Clancy whatsoever. Yeah. And also, I'm going to hint about Sam too, just to see if maybe there's some kind of something that I've missed while growing up, just not noticed that he was entangled in something.
And yeah, he kind of mulls it over a bit, strokes his chin, and he's just like, you know, he's kind of like a younger fella, but has like a little bit of like a chin strap beard going on, and he's just like, yeah, Clancy, that name rings a bell. Yeah, I think there was some Fed, not a Fed, something like that. I don't know. Some suit came through here. I don't know, the other week, kind of looking to pull up some you know, city records on that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Clancy's.
But I threw my arm over his shoulder, kind of like, well, listen. All his chances are now in suits. So why don't you run along and get me all those files, if you don't mind, that she pulled up, please.
Well, it's a bit of an interesting family history. Here, let me show you. He kind of leads you along into a records room, starts pulling out kind of manila envelopes and unlocking little you know, lockers here and there, and just like pulling out some old documents. And he's just like, yeah, they were just, I mean, the stuff she was looking at was, you know, like I said, mostly city documents, looking into, sort of, family history, you know, before adoption papers and everything came through. Yeah, seems, the Clancy name goes back to, one Helen Clancy, who died giving birth to triplets. She apparently she was entangled in some interesting messes. You know, the father, well, from what I understand, the father tried to keep the family that remained tried to keep the father away as much as possible. Didn't want a guy like that around the kids. But anyways,
you kind of give him like an eyeball, like when. I don't think he could have messed me up anywhere. So what information you got? Give me it all. Let's go.
I don't know. The only thing I think she got out of this was, I don't know. There's this name that kept getting thrown around. Felicianos. You know, I'm like, the crime syndicate, the crime family. Yeah, those big cats. Apparently they're tied up in the whole thing, but I don't know. She kind of went on a bit of a warpath for these Felicianos.
And like, as he's about to say like warpath, could I already be walking out the door? He's looking at the files. He's like Felicianos. and she kind of went on a warpath, and I'm already out the door like, oh shit. So
yeah, he just sees the door close behind him. He's just like, glad I could help.
And then I kind of like Dukes of Hazzard over the hood.
You just hood slide
in. Yeah, hood slide, hop in the vehicle, take a breath real quick, and then I'm just going to because I don't know where everybody's going in Chicago.
No, you don't.
What time is it right now? Because Emil would eventually message him to meet up.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. It's still morning, so I think so. I would say let's meet for coffee, and maybe hit the first coffee house.
Yeah, it's probably around 9 a.m. in the morning at this point. Oh, yeah. You still got a couple hours to your meeting, and yeah, the coffee shops and stuff are starting to open up. So yeah, you guys can hit up a cafe anywhere in town.
Mm-hmm. Emil will tell Katara that Chauncey wants to meet up at a coffee shop.
At a coffee shop, okay.
Yep.
That's fine. I haven't had coffee in a while.
I'm pretty much running on coffee these days.
I was just gonna ask, if I drink coffee, will that get rid of my tea?
No, it'll make it worse.
That's a good question. I'll allow you to make a Constitution save, and depending on how good you do on that after the coffee, no, this will be a Constitution check actually.
Okay.
Because this is you actively trying to like wake yourself up with coffee. So
well. When we meet up for coffee and he's like ordering like a triple espresso, can I see like these bags under his eyes?
Yeah, sure. You notice he's looking a little tired.
I'm just gonna look at him and just be like, "Here, yeah, just try one of these. This will clear you right up." And I'm gonna invoke Big Pharma, and I'm gonna give him some experimental drugs.
Wait, what are you giving me?
These are some of his new features. So he's gonna slip some experimental drugs into your coffee.
This will wake you right up. And he's gonna hand you a pill that's that like Katara would recognize. It's a pyridine pill. This will clear you right up.
So now, if I drink that with coffee, will it give me like a boost?
No, this clears you right up.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm not sick. I'm just tired. But yeah, I can remove
a point of fatigue.
Sweet.
Yeah. So you take the pill, you take that with your coffee, and just like that, yeah, that clears you right up. That point of fatigue is gone.
Like, but if I roll Constitution with the coffee, and I roll high enough, do I go into like supermode like numbers are just going in front of my face, words place them together like what is that, Beautiful Mind?
Yeah, you just a beautiful mind it.
You just instantly go to 4 fatigue and pass out after.
No, yeah, you get rid of the fatigue.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
Question, really quick. Did Chauncey texted Arkea before he was in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, as morning, like the sun starts coming through, she's gonna text Chauncey and be like, "Hey, are you here yet?"
Well, I would have messaged you to meet up for coffee as well.
Oh, okay. I guess
I figured we're all there.
Yeah, yeah.
Coffee.
Yeah, and you know,
your finest frappe.
Arkea just walks in with her mask on.
Emil has no idea who that is.
Yeah,
that's the good thing. She's got her hood up and her mask on, and she just walks over and she's like,
just hear the baristas just like, I guess Halloween came early this year.
So cosplaying.
Just like,
the convention's in town. Oh no, I can feel the Chauncey blood. It's not pure blood, but it's something that I've seen before.
Emil's just like, there are some freaks in this town.
I wouldn't say freaks.
She kind of says over her shoulder, "Thanks, Emil. That was really nice of you."
Who the hell are you?
She turns to you and she takes the mask off. Hi.
Oh, it's Clark. Now he's just confused. he was in the middle of making his order and he's just...
What?
Wait.
And she puts the mask back on and takes it back off.
No, that's not helping.
And she puts it back on. Emil, it's me, Archaea.
No, yeah, I get that. What the heck are you doing here?
Well, can we order coffee first and then talk? Because I could really use a pick-me-up right now.
Yeah, just give me something.
She looks a little hungover.
Emil will wait for Archaea to order before he completes his order and just, like, walk away.
She orders black coffee, no sugar, no milk, just straight black.
All right, so Katara, you're able to get a pretty fine frappe and, you know, handful of, like, cookies and candy bars if you'd like.
And a muffin.
So how much is that coming out to, real quick?
For all your order, we'll just charge you just a quick $10.
So she's gonna look at the person.
$15 for the fine frappe.
She's gonna look at the person and just go, go buy yourself something nice and just throw 100 down.
Oh my god! Awesome.
Just the lady behind the counter just like looks down and just like, okay, I mean, thank you. Come again.
That's like a freaking 700% tip. What is that?
Yeah, basically.
Oh man.
Emil's gonna assume that paid for his drink.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride that cheap coat too. Tabs on her. Let's drink this place out of business.
Archaea is just going to give the money for the black coffee and walk away.
Yeah, spend like $5, and yeah. Also say take $100 also off for your room and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Got it.
So I guess we just have a pot now, and we're just gonna be drinking out of
Katara's pocket.
Straws and a bucket of coffee.
Yeah, we have a whiskey barrel, just a freaking giant barrel full of coffee and a tab.
Anybody got paracord? I can make this into a backpack of coffee.
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna need any more coffee after this.
No, not for the rest of the story. But as we all gather around, just gonna like I'm not jumping the gun, but I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, I'm here. You guys are here. Figure we all get coffee, and just touch base with each other.
Yeah. Did you consider my offer?
Yeah, I'm considering your offer. I'd just like a little bit more information on where we're heading.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find someplace quiet and like take a booth in the back.
Mm-hmm.
We can go to the bedroom, take a leak. Quick discussion.
Chauncey and Emil go to the men's room. Okay.
If Chauncey goes, Emil's gonna follow him.
Well, I mean, I just drank coffee the first time in the entire series, and I'm pretty pure right now, so I didn't need it.
Oh, I love it.
All jokes aside, though, but yeah, wherever you feel the most private area is, we can go.
Well, since we're all here, I might as well, make my plans public to everybody who's here, just in case it changes something. And we'll get a spot in the back with our coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easy enough. You guys are pretty early to the shop, and you have your pick of places to sit. You find a nice little booth with padded back seats.
When we sit down, Emil's just gonna like slide his card over to everyone who doesn't have it yet.
All right, so you guys get a card from Emil. And let me go ahead and send those over.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah. Get the little
fancy.
Greenhouse Solutions business card.
I loved making this business card. It was so fun.
It is pretty cool. I'm going to grab it and kind of like grab it with my left hand and kind of like flick at it very lightly, like I'm reading it, but like, you know, just like that nervous flick. Mm-hmm. Like, I know this. Where do I know this from? Oh yeah, last night. That was you? And I asked that. I'm like, this is you?
Oh yeah, this is me.
Huh. That's cool.
Have you? Well, I guess you were in Chicago yesterday. Not Chicago. No, yeah, it was Chicago.
No, it was Davenport.
Right?
No,
Davenport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you would have been in Davenport as well. You saw Joan there.
Indeed. I
imagine. Yep, that was us.
So you're in the cleanup crew now?
Not the cleanup crew, just the make sure infection wave part 2 doesn't happen. Yeah, primarily we're there as what do you call it? A support unit to help you guys, as well as to make sure there's no continued infections after an outbreak.
Yeah, so I've seen, was it Joan? I've seen Joan there talking to Allie and discussing some things, so I didn't know this was you. It's nice.
Yeah, this is me, which is why I'm here. I have some investors who are looking to, or who I'm hoping will be able to fund some more of my operations. And I'm hoping that you would be able to join me. Okay, I don't know if you should come. This is going to be dangerous.
Well, she kind of like takes down her hood. You see her hair is like very short now. It's like probably around her chin length. And she takes out the mask and she's like, well, unfortunately, Emil, I'd love to run after leads with you again, like old times, but unfortunately I'm here on my own lead and I'll be meeting with them soon enough.
Oh, you're working?
Don't sound so surprised.
It's really strange. Like, it's really strange seeing that just a few years ago you were not old enough to work.
Little? Yeah, I know. I feel it every day in my bones. Yeah, I'm on my own lead. And she kind of gets up and she's like, I'm gonna go just take a quick phone call. I'll be back.
All right. And then as soon as she leaves to take that phone call, he's gonna turn over to Chauncey and just be like, so I'm gonna meet with the Felicianos.
What? I'm still putting together why the hell she's here on business.
Dude, we're all like leaving as soon as we need.
Like, I thought maybe she was just in town with Kevin. I didn't realize that she was doing this. What have I missed?
I don't know what
she's business doing. She's here in a mask, and I just come back from vacation.
I come back from sitting on the beach.
I kind of put at Katara and I said, "What's your aim in this? Where are you at in all this mix?"
Oh, I invested into the company.
Oh, so this is you as well.
Well, okay. I came along because I was checking out the area. And then I heard that we were meeting with Feliciano, and it was basically just like, hey, I'll come along then. I have nothing else to do. It's summer, so.
Yeah, if I can get the Felicianos to help invest into my company, it would just help knowing who the head researcher is.
So I understand you need a guard assistance going in
ideally.
here, but I'm not like I understand they're shady folks, but what makes you think that it's a dangerous situation?
They're the Felicianos.
That's correct, but that doesn't mean that if they're looking to invest into you, why would they want to kill you?
They're not looking to invest into me. I need to convince them of that they're going to.
Oh, so you want me to be the muscle?
Just in case they say no.
Okay. Without batting an eye, like, yeah, okay. Oh, man.
All
right.
I was under the assumption they were already going to. That should be interesting.
Nope. I knew a guy who knows a guy. All they got me was a meeting with the Don. Which is not all that's a lot, but but that's as far as we've gotten in terms of talking business. I can make them an offer. I'll try to make it so that they can't refuse it.
So, would I need to bring, or would I need to somehow figure out a way to get my hands on something big, just in case?
Oh, yeah, maybe if you want to bring some of your boom booms.
Mm-hmm.
That might help. I don't know if you'd be able to conceal it anywhere, but I don't want to go into this hostile, but just in case, you should probably take something. Take whatever chemicals you need, just in case we need to blow our way out.
I have chemicals on me, and that's no problem.
Yeah. Just in case.
Well, all right.
And then meanwhile, ROLEPLAY is just like taking a phone call, meeting with the Felicianos.
Yeah, Rap. Did she get information for Jimmy, like a phone number?
Yeah, you have contact information for him, so you can make a call to him.
She's going to call him. Yes.
Okay, he answers. He's just like, yo.
Hey, Jimmy, you got it?
Still working on it. These people are hard to move around on new prospects, but I'm sure they'll come around eventually. Hey, take it easy.
Right,
these things come slow.
She walks. If they were paying attention, they'd see her walk out of the coffee shop. And she's like, "Listen, Jimmy, I got a problem."
What kind of problem?
My father and my adoptive uncle and my adoptive sister are in town, and they're looking into the Felicianos, and I don't know exactly what their motives are, but
you didn't hear
there
that.
could be problems.
Yeah. You don't know who they're meeting with. Yeah.
Sorry. No, scratch that. They're in town, and I don't want them to follow me. So.
What are you? Sounds like a big family reunion. What are your family? They blue? What's the deal? What are you so afraid of?
Let's just say that they're not exactly the kind of people that you want around the Felicianos.
Well, see if you can lose the heat. I'll keep seeing what I could do about getting in touch with people, getting you a sit down. But worst comes to worst, I could just let you tag along a couple of jobs. You'll work your way up the rung eventually.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll try to lose them, and you keep working on that. All right.
All right.
Okay. And Archaea hangs up, walks back into the place.
Chances about as blue as it gets.
She grabs her mask and her keys off the table, and she's like, "Guys, I'm sorry, I gotta run."
Leaving so soon?
But she kind of ignores Emil's question, hugs Emil like around the shoulder, and then lets go, and then walks over and hugs Chauncey.
It is Emil will return the hug.
No. She's like,
and then I'm also going to tell you that when you're done running away, that we need to talk.
she actually, if she says something about talking, she will say, "Hey, Speaking of talking, can I talk to you for a minute, away from them? She kind of gestures away.
Like towards me?
No, yeah. She's asking you if you and her can talk somewhere away from Emil and Katara.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll follow you out the door.
Chauncey's just getting tugged every which way.
Yeah, I know.
What the heck is going on?
I wish I was in the Bahamas.
With Allie. She leads you out to the Suburban. She kind of leans up against the Suburban, takes the mask. She's holding the mask in her hand. She's like, "Listen, I gotta lead, and I need you and them to kind of stay away for now."
What you got yourself into?
Listen, I told you before I left for Kevin's that the only thing I cared about was avenging Aiden's death, and I'm gonna do it. And right now, I've got a lead. Got a boy. His name is Jimmy, and I'm getting in to see the Felicianos.
Well, you know what? You're a big girl now. You have my number. You know I'll be there.
I know.
I'll give you your space. I always have.
Now.
You call me if shit hits the fan. I'll be there.
Please, whatever you do, don't tell Emil. He gets
got my word.
Worried about these things. I know he cares. I know he loves. She does the whole quote thing. Loves me, and I know. But like I said to Kevin, why he's not here with me. He wanted to come, but I told him. I said I need to do this on my own, and that's part of the mask thing, hood thing, short hair thing. Not to know who I am. So if you could all just kind of pretend not to know me if we see each other in the future, that'd be great.
I know where you're going with this. And, yeah, I got you.
And she just goes in for, like, a hug and is just, like, crying on his shoulder at this point. Kind of like, I love you, and you know that. Whatever you're here for in Chicago, I hope you find it. And I hope I find what I'm looking for. Tell Emil and Katara that I love them, and when my duty is done, hopefully I'll see them again.
Yeah, little Aiden, you'll see me again.
I know.
And I kind of like open up your door and like let you get in and shut the door for you.
She gets in and she's like, she kind of waves at you through the window. She drives off.
As soon as she drives off, I'm gonna get a hold of my cell phone and the license plate of that vehicle.
Of her vehicle?
Yeah. like if at any point in time I could have installed like a GPS device in that vehicle before I gave it to her, that would be what I would say to do. But I would at least track her cell phone mainly, but also like if she gets like any hits on the closed circuit cameras around the city, just seeing where she goes.
All right, I'll keep track
She's
of that for you, Chauncey.
Hotel, by the way.
Thank you.
She's just going back to the hotel.
All right.
No, head back in. So, when's this meeting taking place?
11 a.m. I believe we got about 2.5 hours.
Well, I got some places we can go look around if you're interested. I know Chicago really well, or used to. Well, it's grown up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'll
I'm assuming I still know Chicago.
Yeah, you still know the lay of the land fairly well.
Okay. But yeah, this is leeway to, if you guys want to look for certain items, I can at least help you guys find them.
Oh, I'm stacked.
I am too, and I know it's not a purchasing thing, but like I heard that somebody wanted boom booms.
Boom booms.
Can we find those in Chicago? I guess.
My question is what happened to her old boom booms?
It's at the house.
Oh, you left them at home.
Yeah, because the whole thing was she thought that this was a meeting that wasn't. She thought that this was a meeting that wasn't, like, hey, that wasn't like, hey, I'm going to like tell you guys, you are going to invest or something,
Well, I mean, like, even just knowing it was the Felicianos, though, because I would say your place is would have been on the way there down from Minnesota. So, even just knowing that you were going into a meeting with such dangerous people, you could. I would allow you to have like thrown it in Emil's trunk just in case on the way down.
And it's in Emil's trunk then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. In Emil's beat up boxcar, there's a grenade launcher.
Not suspicious at all.
If not, I would have popped the trunk for you, showing you what I'm packing. You're more than welcome to look around.
Oh.
Also, nothing of your proficiency, though, but something that you can still use.
I still have a little bit of mob, so it's okay.
It's all good.
Guitar, I need to get you in hold of a friend of mine. He might have some munitions you might be interested in.
A friend of yours? Who's that friend?
Can I give her, what's his name? Alice's brother's contact information?
Yeah, Mason Poise. The thing is, he's a little bit off the grid, so he doesn't really have contact information. You have to go to him.
I'll let her,
You give her Alice's contact information, then she could put them in touch.
I'm there anyways, just to be like, if you want something cool, I'll show you. I'll take you to I'll take you to Mason. He's a friend of my friend's. Or no, he's the brother of my friend Alice. I think you may have met her a few times, maybe.
Maybe. I'm not good with names, just faces.
Yeah, he's got a veritable arsenal.
Well, I wouldn't mind meeting up with that person one day to see what we can do.
He might have something you might need. I don't know. I haven't seen his goods, but dude's packing.
Good.
Well, should we fast forward?
Yeah. So what are you guys looking to do? Meeting's gonna come up fast, and the mansion is a bit on the outskirts of town. The Feliciano estate is famously pretty far off the north end of town, so it will take a little bit of travel time to get there, like maybe another hour or so. So you do have less time than you might think.
Maybe can we just like drive around lazily up there and just kind of take in Chicago? Yeah.
You take the scenic route. And kind of take in the sights of the massive metropolitan downtown area as you move out of it, moving kind of past that to the more residential urban hubs before moving your way outside the city limits.
By the way, either during the car ride or at the coffee shop, could we have taken a short rest?
Sure, yeah, I would say yeah, for sure. Coffee shop you could definitely rest during.
Speaking of quick rest or short rests, how are we traveling around though? I thought his was like a 2-seater.
That's true. Are we just gonna jump in
yours?
yours?
Could just convoy it if you want to just have all your vehicles in the same place.
But
right, because you don't have
rest. I'm going to introduce you to.
That's true.
You have never seen Black Betty. No, Bambalam. let me show you her features.
Oh, I like Black Betty's features.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to describe this vehicle?
So it is like Mad Max-ish looking. Like it's got roll bars on the outside of the vehicle, all blacked out, armor plating where windows would be, and this thing is it's just gnarly looking, but mainly just looks like it could push tanks out of the way. I want it to feel like whenever you get in it, there is no other safer place.
I mean, I was just looking at this thing, just like, is that street legal?
And I walk you around to the back and show you the license plate. It indeed is.
That's impressive.
Yep, she's a tank with speed.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It is a Camaro.
Camaro?
Yeah, I think 74.
I think we have a pin message for it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm gonna double check, but
somebody just dropped out of the call.
Yes. Oh, okay. There we go.
That's not what I meant to do, actually.
Yeah, I just got a call from you. This call.
I apologize. Yes, 1974 Chevy Camaro.
All right. So there's not enough room for 3 people in any of our vehicles, but we can still, because I think.
Oh no, we could.
We could.
Camaro can
4?
fit up to 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just not very comfortably in the back. But if we want a convoy, that is fine as well.
Should we take the tank?
If you feel that's the right vehicle to roll up to investors with.
It's better than my beat up green lunchbox.
But I mean, mine looks a little bit more intimidating.
Yeah, but it also looks like there's money involved in that.
True.
My vehicle looks like my bank account right now.
Yeah. Well, priorities.
So I'm just gonna, if we're taking that, if we're going with Chauncey's, I'm just gonna move my stuff over to that.
Yeah, just take it out and throw it in the trunk.
Pop the trunk. Weighs like 100 pounds.
Yeah, there's like a winch.
Cranking it. Yeah, it's whatever you need. Go ahead, load it in there. And as you open up the trunk, you just see like all of my weapons that I do have from the previous story arc, just like laying in there, because obviously I didn't go in a coffee shop with all my gear. But there's also a Magnum here this time. So, just so you know, it's also got bullets now.
That's awesome.
Back.
I collected those from the last story arc.
Right. I guess that's the upside, is that even though you didn't get to use it, now you're stacked for the next time you do get to use it.
Yeah, I'm ready. But yes. So if we're mounting up now, are we going in expecting drama? Like, am I allowed to attack?
We're not going in bring something, your security. You might as well bring something. You're still security, but I'm hoping this is going to be more diplomatic.
Okay. Can I
but bring something just in case they don't like our face.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
I would say
you can't hate this face.
I would say the both of you should stick close to me. In the event something happens, I have something that can help in the event you're attacked.
Okay. Well, of course, stay within arm's distance of me if you do start firing. I can help you guys out as well. But okay. I guess should things go down, I'm gonna hide behind Chauncey. Actually, I was just gonna hide behind both of you. Because I don't think I'm gonna bring my weapons in, since I'm gonna be professional.
Or your armor?
I'm probably not gonna wear my armor either.
Okay.
Oh, I am.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm going in as the businessman, so just straightening out my vest. And that's about it.
All right.
So we got going in as a businessman, and we have 2 people. We have one full-out body armor, weapons, and then we have girl no body armor, packing a grenade launcher.
This is my bodyguard and my head researcher.
Don't get too confused.
You can decide which is which.
My head researcher. How you doing?
All right. Good to know. Good to know. So you guys get yourselves geared up on the road, headed north out of Chicago. In the meanwhile, quick question. How does Jimmy know you by Archaea? Does he have your name?
Yes, he does know her name as Archaea, but that is as far as it goes. She did not give him like a last name.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you would hear back from Jimmy after a little bit, and hear a call. It's just like, okay, progress report. Situation's changed a little bit. I got good news for you, though. It looks like you're... I started floating your name around. I think it caught the ear of some of the top brass. Leonardo Bellucci wants you at the Feliciano Manor as soon as possible.
I'm on my way. She hangs up.
All right.
She's just like, he says, be here as soon as possible. She's gone.
Yeah. He also...
I'm assuming...
you find him kind of like...
He'll text me the address?
Well, you find him kind of like waiting outside your hotel.
Oh, okay.
And he's just like,
Awesome.
he'll lead the way up there. So you can kind of tail behind him.
Okay. Yep. So she's gone.
All right. So, you guys start heading up, and eventually the 1 hour road trip leads all of you north of Chicago, a few miles off the highway, headed northwest. You come across a lone road that winds down through a thick oak forest. And after a few miles, the forest breaks on the left side of the road, opening to a vast green field with acres upon acres of farmland. It looks to be a vineyard of sorts. Then, rising above the vineyard in the distance is an impressive mansion, standing tall and dark against the morning sky. But between you and this immense estate is a long stretch of fence, which borders the road, kind of running, parallel alongside it on the side. And as you guys, as you guys arrive, Emil, Chauncey, Katara, you would see some vehicles going in ahead of you. I think Archaea and Jimmy would get there first. Yeah.
I have a cool question. Could she have jumped in with Jimmy?
Okay, yeah,
instead of taking her vehicle.
Okay, yeah. So you're riding his car.
Yeah.
And you guys don't recognize it, but you see a car kind of like pull up to the gate. A guy steps out, sort of buzzes a little sort of panel by the side of one of the brick pillars, and the gate opens and lets them through before closing again. And you guys kind of pull up.
On the ride up, Emil would have done a briefing with everyone just to make sure we're all on the same page. So his plan is to get in there and ask the Felicianos to invest in his company, primarily because he's going to leverage their connection with the Manifold. He wants to basically say, like, if you can, if you give me this, I will eliminate the Manifold for you, seeing as they basically took out their, like, an entire division of their income. And if was Katara gone? Okay, hold on. So did you hear anything from my briefing, or were you gone?
No, I was when I was leaving. It was still talking about ROLEPLAY.
So, quick briefing. Emil's going to leverage the Manifold when asking for assistance from the Felicianos. He wants to basically say, if you can do this for me, I will eliminate the Manifold for you, and basically just like get revenge on them, seeing as the Manifold took a big part of their income away, as well as a sign of good faith. He'll provide some products for the Felicianos.
Huh.
That's his plan going into it. So, show of good faith, provide some products, and basically trying to do them a favor, get rid of the Feliciano, or get rid of the Manifold, and in return, he doesn't want money. He wants, if possible, any of their leftover like laboratory areas or like any laboratory stuff that they had from when they did have a researcher. If not, he'll take money.
Why do you see getting entangled with the Felicianos is a good idea for business?
Because the Felicianos are extremely rich, and they're not going to ask what I'm going to be doing with money.
Then let's just say things go south, and Felicianos disappear. Who you go bank on then?
I mean, if we eliminate the Felicianos by accident?
No, maybe.
If the Felicianos disappear, then I'll just start looking for some new contacts. Okay. Felicianos are just option number one. I have a couple other options.
I'm just going to be honest here. I have other reasons that I want to be up here besides your investment meeting. But
are you here to take out the Felicianos?
No. Just got some questions to ask of my own, but I will let your meeting happen first, of course.
If you need to take out the Felicianos, let me know. I'll conclude any business I have with them, and they can be yours.
I don't plan on murdering every Feliciano, but I mean, we know that I kill people. Like, let's be honest here. We know I kill people, but I just have some questions I need to ask. So, I am more than happy to stick with you through your meeting, making sure it goes safe, as long as you guys possibly stick around when I have to ask some questions.
Yeah, you get if you get my back, I'll be sure to get your back. I just asked that since you are affiliated with the BSCA, that unfortunately, during this meeting, I need you to be loyal to me and not the BSAA.
I'm still technically on vacation.
Good to hear.
All right. So, you guys gearing up?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm not. I'm gearing down.
Just a quick cutaway. Arkea, you're riding shotgun along with Jimmy, heading up the road between the vineyard fields and heading up to the main manor, where you see you're heading down that gravel path that's on the other side of the gate, which leads down a great distance. You got the tall grapevines flanking on either side all the while, and after about a half mile up the path, the grapevines kind of end as the path opens to like a yard area in front of the manor. And the gravel path becomes kind of like a circular arena in this yard, and at the center of which is a elaborate two-tiered stone fountain. And at the edges of which are a handful of parked cars, mostly pristine-looking black Cadillacs and Lincolns and other expensive vehicles. But yeah, you're looking up at a wide, monolithic 3-story manor built of gray bricks in an angular, almost Gothic architectural style. Has a number of large lattice windows dispersed intermittently along the walls. And the center part of the third floor the second floor kind of recesses inward, leaving a large balcony enclosed by the 3 walls, with the open side kind of overlooking the vineyard. And directly below that balcony is an elegant pair of dark oak doors, front and center on the ground level. And
Arkea's loving this.
yeah. And Jimmy's just sort of like, he pulls up, and kind of files in line with the other cars around the fountain. And he parks in, he's just like, all right, this is our stop. Don't worry about it. I know it's intimidating looking, but I've been in here plenty of times. Now, whatever you do, just try not to be nervous around the brass. I've met...
nervous? Never.
I mean, I've been around Leonardo Bellucci, the underboss. He's the one who called this in. He's, plenty of times. You should be fine.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So he kind of gets out of the vehicle and leads you forward to the door. You see kind of like a patrol of a couple of, sort of greasers in suits, basically, coming by. They look to be armed guards. And then, just like a 4-man patrol kind of walks by. It's just like, hey, yo, Jimmy, is that you? It's like, yeah, got the new recruit that Bellucci was asking for right here. All right. Well, you guys didn't waste any time getting here. And they kind of lead the both of you up to the front door, open it up, and you see standing in the foyer a couple of, exactly 2 different people. One of them looks to be an older man in his early 50s, short black hair under kind of gray fedora, wearing a gray pinstripe 3-piece suit. And the guard patrol kind of escort you guys inside and then like close the doors behind you, and it's just you and Jimmy in here with these 2 figures in the middle of this grand mansion sort of foyer hall. And the man in the older man in the 3-piece suit that you just saw is kind of standing alongside another man who's kind of like larger, physically imposing, broad shoulders, tall, like at least 6'5", with kind of like slicked back black hair, and he's kind of, but also wearing like a pretty formal attire as well. And the older man, and he also looks to be pretty old himself. And he kind of looks down at you. He's just like, so you must be the one they call Archaea.
Yes, that's me. Can I ask a question? I mean, I don't know how these things usually go, but I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a girl from a small city in the Midwest. Why would a man such greater standards than I am want to meet with me?
Well, to be frank.
So immediately.
And to be frank, your name is a bit of a infamous one we've been told to look out for. Now, obviously you need no introduction, but perhaps I should introduce myself. My name is Don Ernesto Feliciano. And he motions over to the older gentleman beside him in the 3-piece suit, and he's like, this is my consigliere, Antonio Marconi. And he kind of nods to you, he's like, and now, unfortunately, you seem to have caught the Don at a bit of an inconvenient time. He's about to head into another meeting. But we'll deal with you shortly. Please, stick around, make yourself comfortable. We got plenty of rooms around here. Jimmy, why don't you perhaps show her to one of the guest rooms? And wait for a little while. Or unless, if you want to see this meeting transpire, makes no difference to me.
You know what? I'd like to see how your meetings go. I think I'll stick around.
And then Don kind of smirks a bit and is just like, I like your spunk, kid. We'll do well.
Well, I get it from my dad.
So meanwhile, back at the front outside the gates, the rest of the party is kind of sitting outside. You looking at kind of like spiked metal fencing between intermittent brick pillars, and again, there's that wide arching gate at the center.
We haven't been let in yet?
Yeah, you pull up to the gate, and you see on the other side of it the gravel path leading up to the manor, and on the other side of the fence is just the long plantation of grapevines. But you see on the pillar to your right, there's like a metal panel with a speaker and a mic and a button. That looks to be what on the world. Just got a notification. But yeah, that looks to be what the gentleman that went ahead of you interacted with. And immediately to your left on the brick pillar over there, you do see sort of CCTV camera looking down at the panel.
Mm-hmm. So we can pull up to that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I was being coy and not saying the name of the company before, but obviously I would have told the name of the company to Scott. Would he have introduced me as like just a meal, or a meal via
like the CEO of Greenhouse Solutions? Yeah, that's probably how you would have sort of set it up as.
Okay. So then, when we get to that, Emil will buzz in and give the name of his company and his name.
Yeah, the Don's expecting you. You hear on the other side of the loudspeakers, and immediately the gates begin to open. You guys are let through. All right, so you hop back in the vehicle. Chauncey drives the armored Camaro, the Black Betty?
Yeah, Black Betty.
Black Betty up the gravel path in between the grapevines, the same path that R.K. had just taken, and up to the front entrance. You kind of
just assuming it's like a deep roar coming up. Oh.
Yeah, and you pull up there and you find plenty of room to park around this circle around the fountain. See this magnificent mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we ready?
I believe so.
Let's go.
All right, just follow my lead. And
so, can I also describe how I would go in this? Because like I don't know if it portrays well of me being in full body armor, but I kind of want to be in full body armor with like the suit over top.
Okay. So you're looking super bulky essentially in your suit, but like
I'm ripped.
Like I imagine he's walking around super bulky in the suit, passing by a bunch of bodyguards by the front doors, super bulky in their suit.
Yeah, basically. You use the guards kind of see you guys kind of saunter out of your vehicle like a squad, and and they kind of looking out, holding on to their firearms, and then one of them is just like, I'd ask if you're all packing, but it seems I could answer that for myself. All right, well I
can show them all to you.
Well, we just like to know who we're dealing with. Good to know you're taking this meeting rather seriously. But hey, you're in Feliciano territory now, so don't make any sudden moves.
She because Katara just nods with a grenade launcher in her head. She's like, of course.
All right, the Don's expecting you inside. And he, with the same sentry, seems to open up the front double doors, and you're led into this magnificent foyer. It's this grandiose main hall with polished hardwood floors and shiny ceramic vases adorning tables at the corners of the room. There are two staircases leading up to an upper balcony on either side of the opposite wall, and an elegant golden chandelier dangling overhead, as well as some like inner balconies that are just kind of going around the circumference of the room on the second floor. And you see those two figures, as well as Arkea and another gentleman off to the side.
as soon as we're walking in, the squad sauntering in, and then as soon as
door opens, you guys come in slow-mo and everything.
And then as soon as Emil looks over, sees the Dawn, sees Archaea, immediately turns around, looks at Chauncey. She's like, "The hell is he doing here?"
We don't know her.
Very inconspicuous.
But I just kind of if he looks back to her, looks at me, gives that look, what is she doing here? I'll give him the look we don't know her.
Yeah,
just shaking the head. Yeah.
Last Emil saw Archaea was when Chauncey and Archaea left, left the shop. Chauncey comes back alone. We start talking business. I see Archaea in the Feliciano's hands. I'm just like, what?
Archaea was looking around, just kind of admiring the beautiful mansion that she's been let into. Mm-hmm. And when her eyes land on the door as it opens, she's like, "Oh shit!" And she looks, and she sees Chauncey. She kind of gives him a look. And then she's like, "Jimmy, we got to get out of here right now. Take me to that guest room or whatever. Just get me out of here now."
All right. I mean, you could just go into these halls over here on the east side, and then kind of leads you through a door.
She's gone.
Well, and Don Feliciano kind of greets you guys with open arms, and he's just like, "Welcome to my abode.
Don Feliciano.
You must be Emil Johansson."
That is correct.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, perhaps we could, I thought we were gonna have some spectators here, but it seems they've, moved on. But, this foyer is, no place for a meeting. Please step into, he kind of leads you through another door, on the opposite side of the mansion from where Archaea just went out from. And he leads you into what looks to be like a lounge room. It's like a classy sort of lounge with several designer sofas laid on top of an elegant green carpet with a long wooden coffee table as a centerpiece. And he's just like, "Please have a seat." And he sits down with his consigliere opposite from whichever side you guys sit down on.
Seeing him with his consigliere, I wish I brought my lawyers.
I am your lawyer.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm as legal as you're gonna get.
So I'll sit down, I guess, opposite of him. We're facing each other across this table.
And you see a couple of other Feliciano guards in suits kind of filter into the room and seem to take posts at the corners of the rooms.
So quick head count, how many people in the room?
So there's about 4 guards, the Don Feliciano, and he would introduce his consigliere as Antonio Marconi. So 6 of them in total.
I'll introduce my entourage as well. I'll introduce my bodyguard and my head researcher.
You will not introduce me by name, please.
My bodyguard, my head researcher. If you wish to say your own names, then But I'm Emil. This is my bodyguard. This is my head researcher. I believe we're here to do business then.
Very well. Let's cut to the chase. So, you have some business propositions for me.
I do. I heard that recently an entire what were they, a division, what's the right word to,
like a branch?
Branch. So I heard through the grapevine that an entire branch of yours just up and left.
You may have heard correctly. What's it to you?
Well, oh man, now that I'm talking to the Dawn, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah, he's got like this big kind of like imposing physical presence as well, big big chested, just like broad shoulders, and it's just like even when he's sitting down, you just feel like you're a lot smaller than this man.
And Emil's already kind of big.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have a personal interest in eliminating the Manifold, and I can do that for you.
What makes you think you can compete with the Manifold?
Lots of reasons, but with your help, one more reason.
He kind of looks over to Marconi, and Marconi just gives him a nod, and he kind of looks back over to you, and he's just like, okay, I'm listening.
I'm just wondering if the Manifold took all of your laboratory equipment when they left, parting with Dr. Simmons.
Let's just say they took a fair bit.
Well, I'm willing to take anything that you have that they didn't, as well as an investment in my company, a public one maybe. It'll help increase your reputation.
I already got plenty of reputation, but I am still looking for more legitimate businesses to put my fingers in, and illegitimate ones if it suits my needs.
Good luck for you. Good luck for you, because I'm both.
So what sort of business you running this Greenhouse Solutions?
Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna give him my card.
Hand him your business card. Just look. Kind of looks it over, tucks it away in one of his jacket pockets.
Hands it to his consigliere.
Yeah, hands it right over to Marconi. Kind of looks it over.
Well, publicly we deal with green herb and green herb technology. Me and my head researcher, however, are looking to expand our research into a little bit more exciting avenues.
All right, exciting.
I believe you're familiar with this kind of research, knowing Simmons and Walker.
So you're looking to pick up the slack they left with us then, huh? Viral
Perhaps.
research, is that what we're talking here?
If you need any convincing, as a sign of good faith, and I'm going to put my hands up really unassuming, or not unassuming, but very slow, and reach into my med kit and produce 2 syringes.
Okay, yeah, you kind of see the guards shuffle a bit. You know, they have their hands on their holsters. And Don kind of holds his hand up and is just like, okay, and one of these.
Viral research.
You're saying if we take this to some cooks, they'll be able to verify that.
Yeah. Well, actually, I forget. Adrenaline isn't actually a viral, right?
No, adrenaline was not.
No, so actually, no. So I'll
and the
say,
steroids technically are not as well, because they're entirely synthesized.
No, the steroids are, because I derived it from Katara's blood.
You did, but there was no remnant of the virus in them.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Then I'll say no, which is why you can get away with using it. These products are entirely synthesized. They give all the same effects. None of the illegal ramifications of carrying virus technology on you.
Well, that's quite something. Yeah, Marconi, what do you make of this? And then Marconi kind of leans in. He's just like, yeah, well, can't say I've ever seen anything like that before. That's quite unprecedented, sir. But there's quite a lot of risk involved if you're still working with viruses, but no more risk than we worked with the Manifold.
No risk. Completely untraceable as a virus. You boys take this, they'll be unstoppable. I have no interest in local politics. I just want to take out the Manifold.
And Marconi kind of, looks around the room, and he's kind of, yeah, you see him kind of eyeballing kind of over your shoulder, Emil, a little bit. Kind of looks back at the Don. He kind of leans over and whispers in the Don's ear a little bit.
Without looking, do I remember what's directly over my shoulder?
I'll say make a quick intelligence check if you don't want to do it without looking.
Just a quick, oh man, I don't have situational awareness, but what did I see coming in?
Y'all need some help?
Nope. You do not. You don't remember who's there at all. In fact, you're not even sure where your 2 bodyguards are right now in relation to you in the room.
It's like, they've been really quiet. Are they still behind me?
They sleeper held us.
Right? I didn't even notice.
That pill didn't do nothing.
You see him kind of like whisper something in the Don's ear, and Don Feliciano kind of leans back, whispers something back. See Marconi kind of take out his phone.
Try to read the lips.
They're covering like their lips with their hands as they do.
Okay. So I can't hear them either.
Yeah. And you see Marconi.
They've been doing this for years. What am I trying?
Yeah. Marconi kind of like shows the Don something on his phone, and then puts it away. And Don kind of nods, kind of seems to, reflect a little bit. Kind of looks back to you. And he's just gonna sort of say, well, you make quite a sales pitch, Emil. Well, needless to say, I'm very interested in your product. And investing in a business like yours is something of great interest to me professionally. You come in here waving this stuff around and you make some pretty big assumptions. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
I apologize. What assumptions am I making?
Well, for one, you assume quite a lot about the manner of our relationship with the Manifold. Now, yeah, it's true. They split off from us. And yeah, maybe they burned us a little bit in the process, but we still keep our connections there. Now, I would really love to take you up on your offer. But you and this rat pack you've been running with, they've been quite a thorn in Walker's side for quite a while. And I think might be worth a lot more turning y'all over to him.
Baguette. Baguette.
Turn this over to Walker.
Furthermore, he kind of looks over at Chauncey and kind of looks back at Marconi and is just like, "You sure that's the guy?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the one Leonardo Bellucci's been talking about."
I trank him.
You trank the consigliere?
No, the Don.
All right, so go ahead and roll for it.
So I was gonna say at this point.
So I think we were all ready to go.
I was gonna say at this point, I want to cast something, obscuring cloud.
Okay.
I want to know why he wants me. I need to know.
We'll get him. Don't worry. We'll get why.
I'm gonna sleep.
I'm gonna cast obscuring cloud, which since those two are like 5 feet in front of me, this is gonna work out just fine.
Okay, yeah. Well, you can only target one person with it. So who are you giving it to?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Well, it has a reaction. It says a reaction to somebody. I don't have to do it right now.
Yeah. Okay. So you got that ready. Yeah.
Yep.
I will say though, I'm naked.
Go ahead and roll really quick for Trank.
Yeah. This is an attack. I'm trying to remember how hypo gun works.
Yes, I believe you have to make an attack to see if it hits.
How close am I to the Don?
Probably within 10 feet of him.
I think that is optimal.
Is it tier 2?
I think you for hypo gun, you auto hit within the.
Only if they're
for friendlies.
Only if they're friendly.
Yeah, so...
But I think I still have advantage.
Yeah, so go ahead and make an attack with advantage.
Where is it at?
Dude, where's all our shit?
Hold up, whoa.
Dude, I want to know.
It's been like a month.
Steroid. Okay, yeah, Trank. Here it is. Trank. Here it is.
Well, because I have Trank. I just need to know because I'm firing it with the hypo.
Yeah, it says on a hit roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 10 feet is my optimal range, so I can attack with advantage.
All right, go ahead and make your attack with advantage then. This is a ranged weapon attack.
What is that? I can't see. It's behind the name. It's a 15 to hit.
15 just hits.
Ah, yes! Tranked him!
No, I'll never know why I'm the guy.
No, look, okay. There's a reason why I tranked the Dawn. Because you can kill everybody else and ask them questions.
So go ahead and roll it.
Alright, what is it? 10d10?
Yep, 10d10.
Looking at it right now? Okay.
Yep.
Sleep mode.
No pluses, just...
Yep, just 10d10.
49?
Wow.
All right, so you just and you see the syringe just like jam right into his neck as he turns to face his concierge, and he's just like, kind of just like reaches up, pulls it out of his neck, and looks over at you. He's just like, I commend your effort. And he stands up from his seat and is just like towering over you now. He's just like, but I'm afraid this meeting is over. Take him, boys. And him and the concierge just start to walk out of the room, and the other Feliciano guards start to draw weapons.
All right, well...
And that is where we're going to start next time.
Oh, come on.
Would be all you get back.
There's not even time for that. It's just, what the hell are you doing here?
I know, but that would be... I have no clue what the hell's going on in here. I'm just like, they point at me like, that's the guy. Like, yeah, I'm the guy, but like, why? Why am I the guy? I get this.
Qatar's whole thing after hearing that is, oh, you've been a thorn in Walker's side, her. Well, this has gone to hell. Here we go.
Yep. Everybody's just hands move to their pocket.
Arcade is really glad she did not stick around for that meeting.
So, yeah, that was quite the cliffhanger to leave off on. Man, what a return to the series.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been really excited about this story arc for quite some time, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. And, welcome to the Feliciano Manor. So, that's going to be where we pick up next time. Yeah.
Somebody remind me.
I'm the guy. That's all I have to say.
Remind me as soon as we start. Remind me as soon as we start that the syringe or the steroid that I have out is going right into Chauncey.
All right.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we'll see how this situation resolves itself next time. Until then, yeah, we're gonna be running some reruns starting tonight if we get that all sorted out. And we'll be back, of course, with the same time slot next Friday. It's good to have this series back. Oh, I missed it so much. I missed this party. And, yeah, I'm so excited to see how this arc plays out.
Scared. I'm so scared.
I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
Until next time. We'll see you guys later. Peace. Squared. Have a good night. God bless.
Good night, sweet dreams, all the good things.
Night.